This is gonna be cool.
The topics and opinions expressed on the Dudes and Beer podcast are intended for an audience of 18 and up and are solely those of the host and guests. They neither reflect the opinions or values of either the sponsors of Dudes and Beer or your mother. I mean, seriously. Have you ever heard these guys? They'll talk about anything.
Whoa, hey, you think they're gonna show it? They'll probably just blur it out. Whoa, check it out, Beavis.
Grab your beverages and turn up your interweb. Solving the world's problems 12 ounces at a time. It's Dudes and Beer. Hey everybody, Chris Jordan, host of the Dudes and Beer podcast here. Has this ever happened to you? Tired of looking in your rearview mirror after a couple of drinks with friends or worrying about no-refusal weekends and DUI stops? Are you planning a night on the town and want an easy, safe way to get around while still having fun? Well, Fare is the ride service for you. Simply download the easy-to-use and free Fare app from the Google Play Store or iTunes Marketplace and use promo code DUDES10 every time you ride with Fare to save 10% off your ride. Have a Fare driver you liked riding with? You can not only give them a review and tip, but you can add them to your preferred drivers list on your Fare app and request them every time you ride with Fare. You can schedule rides with Fare to pick you up immediately or as far as 30 minutes to 7 days in advance, eliminating the need for last-minute calls and allowing you to pre-schedule pickups in locations other than your home city. Perfect for those traveling for business or for fun. So don't forget to stop on by and download that free Fare app and use the coupon code DUDES10 every time you ride with Fare to get 10% off your ride. That's right, don't forget the coupon code is DUDES10. So be like Dudes and Beer, everybody. Party safe, use Fare, and drink responsibly.
They were talking about South Carolina earlier, and they were, at first they were like, Trump won, wait, Clinton won, wait, Trump won. It was like, guys, just don't,
just wait.
Just wait a second, don't start announcing stuff.
It totally reminds me of the Bush and Gore 2000 election.
Right, so those three counties usually have
to
put up a huge
Well, I think, like I was saying, Florida is an important state
to make sure that we have a shot at carrying Florida. We've achieved that. And so, it's still close because it's going to be close regardless. It doesn't matter that the margins, even though the vote total is small in the turnout, the margins in the panhandle, for us, we always have to keep it close in the panhandle. We've got to win the I-4 corridor, and we've got to score in South Florida. And so, we're going to wait and see how it all plays out.
Elections, man.
It's embarrassing.
He's doing way better.
I was thinking about the car.
I'm shocked.
Well, I think it's embarrassing that somebody like Trump was able to get this far. I wonder what that says to the rest of the world. You're allowing somebody who openly doesn't antagonize different people across the world. Y'all let him get this far. So what is that? Y'all really saying y'all don't like us?
Has a little bit more moderate Republican base.
That's what I've heard people that overseas say they don't like. Nobody likes Trump except for Americans.
Closeness.
So people that like him and tolerate him, nobody else can tolerate him.
Presidential election.
I know. I feel like I've seen all these newspapers and magazines from all across the world that are like, "Please, America, don't do this.
Don't do this to yourself.
We don't want to talk to him."
We always have to
outsiders
have
are bleeding.
turnout in
That's
those
got to take
counties
something
to be able to be in a stronger position. I feel
No,
like
I
we've
mean,
done
to be
that,
honest,
but
after
we're gonna have to
W,
wait a
if this
little
is
while
their
to see.
next
It's
best
still a narrow
option,
path,
it's like,
of course, but
guys,
if Donald Trump's
what's
able to
half
win Florida in the end,
get
North Carolina, win
new people
Ohio,
in that
top
party.
half,
If you
we're
really
not
can't
even
find
talking any of those
anybody,
yet. We then shift
don't
to the
just
Midwest.
find
And I wonder what
the
your
loudest,
assessment is of the
craziest
Midwest
guy
and how
you
it looks for
can.
Democrats and Republicans tonight.
That legitimately has
Keep in
been the
mind,
thing that I've felt the
Hillary
entire
Clinton's
time.
conference
Because I just feel bad for the
electoral votes
Republican
is
Party.
still
Like they're
a
the
much
sad bad guy couldn't find a date for the prom. And was like, just going with that last person. They were, oh, well, he doesn't have a date. So I should go with him, I guess.
I think the magic of Trump did was that he spoke to the common core and insecurities of people. And I made this comparison online that you did it the same way pimps talk to hoes. You make the hoe feel like, you make them feel like, hey, you're going out here working for me. I understand what you're going through. It's me and you in this, but at the end of the day, the pimp is the one sitting in the car at home waiting for the hoe to come back.
I suppose that's true to a certain extent. He's like, you know, hey, I built myself up. You want to build yourself up?
Yeah, let's do this
me.
together. But you'll never see a pimp in the same room with the hoe when she's having sex. They're always like, oh, you go out there and do it, and I'll sit back and let you see how this plays out.
Now, I saw a very interesting situation like that play out in Vegas when I was there, actually. Where I literally just...
Where is this story going?
We came out of Walgreens. We like right down from the hotel is a Walgreens, and we went in to buy beer, stuff like that for the night. And literally came out, and there was this guy who was quite obviously what he did for a living, and very quite obviously what she did for a living. And he's in his like, you know, knee length leather jacket. Like, nice. Say, girl, where the hell you been for the last 2 days? I was like, ooh, I've been trying to get a hold of you. My ass, you've been trying to get a hold of me.
Now,
come here. It was like, let's go ahead and hit the escalator here, guys, because it's about to get real in Vegas.
Let's not get involved in this tonight.
I don't want to be anywhere near what's going on right here.
Pardon me, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
I guess the bigger question would be, what kind of pimp would Trump be? Would he be a regular pimp or would he be a gorilla pimp? Gorilla pimp is when you beat up your hoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely that.
Would it be the rage pimp?
I see
gorilla. Because I mean, you imagine.
I was gonna say, I think I see gorilla.
If he's already grabbing him by the pussies, I mean,
yeah.
That's true.
He never said that he did. He said that he
was. Said that he wanted.
He said that he was famous and that they would probably let him.
Sure.
Those were the words that came out of his mouth.
It's like even though the fact
I'm not defending the words, mind you.
But it's like the fact that he said it is still bad. Like if I say, you know, them little toy girls kind of sexy, you're like, just because you say you want to do it, it's still weird. Like,
it's still awkward as hell. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know. I can like him just for saying that. It's kind of like, ugh. Your mind went right to the
spoken like a true pimp.
Oh, God.
But even if he does become president, I can just imagine when he doesn't get his way, him lashing out.
You absolutely, not only him, but his supporters.
Yeah. He's never going to be like, I could have done that better. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. If he wins, there are things that I don't want to say on the internet that I feel and will possibly do. Like, no.
You and Robert De Niro.
That seems like a good team. I'm fine if Robert De Niro and I are gonna.
He's already said
join a team. That seems I'm okay with that.
I just really still can't believe we're here. Honestly, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm just like really.
This is the craziest election
That's what I said.
ever.
Like I said, you know, I understand that there's a huge amount of people that don't trust the government, don't feel like it works for them, don't feel like that it's going in their favor. I get that. But the guy you picked to champion that is Donald Trump. He has never, at one point in his life, ever said he cares about anybody but himself. There's never been like a moment like Donald Trump gave $1 million to a charity. That's never happened.
Hell, he said his workers have to get Obamacare to supplement their
The man has made it clear that he doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. Like, he had a whole show based on firing people. Like, he clearly makes it known that he doesn't care about anybody.
That's all he wants to do.
Like, when Obama was running, the whole thing with him was that he was a community organizer. At least that's something that involves you being in the community. Trump has nothing on his credentials that says he cares about anybody but himself. His own kids said he didn't deal with them till they were 21.
Yeah.
Something like that. Basically, if you're not used to me yet, I'll wait. Like, then I'll come around and, like, damn. So, but at the same time, like, if you guys believe, if you guys are voting for him, think that he's going to be the one to help you, hey.
He's making a mockery of it all. I feel like if he does win, which he's not, just gonna let out there. If he were to, in some other fictional reality, there you go. Some other
somebody messing with Flux and passing it the wrong way. Fucking Marty had sex with his mama.
I feel like the moment that I feel like he'd come out and be like, yeah, I punked y'all. I only did it just to see if y'all would let me. Like, I really can't. I can't take it seriously at this point. Like, seriously?
But whether he wins or loses, this does change elections forever.
Yeah,
for the longest time, it made it seem like you had to have some type of credentials to get this far. And now he's basically showing I can say what the fuck I want, do what I want.
Here's the thing, though.
But to be a teacher, I have to have
you don't.
what?
Well, yeah.
But I can run to be a
let's not even for a moment. Let's not discuss how teachers and nurses and people like that work the hardest of everyone and get paid the least. So let's be honest. That's apparently the American way. So whatever.
One of the greatest senators that ever existed, though, was Davy Crockett, and he had no more than a second grade education. So you can't dismiss the fact that just because somebody doesn't have a college education, just because they don't have a degree in politics, or something like that, it's not a right. It's not. A college education is not a right. Every town had a school. Every town had a school.
I think he's speaking of before. You're talking about currently.
You're talking about currently. Yeah, back in 1845.
I firmly do not believe that a college education is a right.
Yeah, but college education versus high school education.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Is it different if somebody has a high school education and becomes president? No.
All you need to become president is money.
The president doesn't write any laws. He doesn't have to have that concept. He doesn't. He has to have the pulse of the people.
Thank you.
But literally 3/4 of the president's jobs, every one of us have more daily duties than the president does, according to the Constitution.
I mean, he needs Congress.
He has 10 jobs, and 8 of them are greeting foreign dignitaries.
Yeah, but I think you can't.
But he can't even do that much.
I'm not saying he can.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying that we can't make the argument that because somebody doesn't have an education that they can't be president of the United States.
But at the same time, you still have to have some type of temperament and some type of knowledge of what you're getting into. You can't at the same time while you
That's why you were surrounded by advisors.
But you can't say that anybody that just has money and power and influence can just slide their ass in there, because then that does degrade the process and it does disrespect the process.
It absolutely does.
Because at the end of the day, it is an honor to be nominated to be president.
I mean, but you're not going to tell me that doesn't sound quite idiotic that you're saying that, okay, someone who is a teacher has to have more education, but to be the president, you only have to have a high school.
But, and to back off your point, to the fact that, once again, that Trump has made this far show.
It's not a requirement by the Constitution.
It's not a requirement.
It took him to get through the show.
That doesn't make it okay. It's still asked back.
Other than
requirement, not a requirement. It's asked back. I'm sorry.
I think it shows, like, because you mentioned Davy Crockett and I mentioned the time period, but I think this really shows that in America we really do run off of fame and celebrity.
Bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I brought that up numerous times. That's exactly how
I think
he
that's
got
what the world
into
is saying. The world is looking at it like, wow, y'all about to let Kim Kardashian be president.
I was going to say,
why can't she run next time? She got power and influence.
They actually had.
I think she'd be better.
Who was it? They
if she
went
ran,
out
she'd be up there, I'm sure. I'm real so sure on that.
They went out and they spoke to a bunch of kids at college. And they asked them, showed them like random photos. Like they showed them, I think, they showed Obama, who was it? A whole bunch of people, like previous presidents, and nobody could name anybody. Nobody had any idea who anybody was, and they showed a picture of Kim Kardashian. Oh, that's Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Are you fucking kidding me?
Shows where the minds of people is at, you know?
In our society, we equate popularity and money to
being seen,
intelligence and success. Like I said, you can be rich and be stupid as shit. You know that, right? It's not. Yeah. Everybody's a millionaire is a genius.
It's just like
to get rich. I mean,
it's just like it's interesting to me, and it's something that somebody pointed out today was the guests that were recently the musical artists that were recently the guests at Hillary Clinton's most recent rally, which were Beyonce, I think Jay-Z, something like that. And like they were, but literally quite a few of them. There was one of them where the guy was talking about a lyric where my homies will run a train on you. Stuff like that. And it's like, I don't really know if that needs to be at a presidential rally. I don't really know if those are the former.
As I'm scanning my Jay-Z lyric line, I can
No. It wasn't Jay-Z. There were numerous other people. But you got to admit, there are numerous lyrics from Jay-Z as well.
Yeah, I've seen Republican. I'll say this.
That are not the most friendly towards
women. I've seen Republican pundits
that are misogynist.
When you bring up Ted Nugent grabbing his dick at a rally saying, "I got your blue states right here," it's like.
Absolutely. And I'm just as offended by that. And I'm a Ted Nugent fan.
But I can't. But the reason I would say argument because Ted Nugent ain't running for president. And he's batshit crazy.
Exactly. And neither is Jay-Z, which Trump politely found
but if you're running on a platform of women's advocacy, if you're running on a platform of that, do you necessarily bring a rap artist who is going to be using lyrics that are misogynist?
I mean, well, you know how I felt about the whole Jay-Z Beyonce thing.
You thought she was pandering.
Well,
That's what you thought.
Here's my thing. I don't need anybody to feel like they have to stoop to a certain level to reach me. You can speak to me like you speak to anybody else. You don't have to come out here and do all the extra shit.
You're not wrong about it, but once in an election when an orange-faced orangutan is winning, then you damn right don't bring out people that since y'all respect celebrities so much. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z.
True, and it's just
because apparently people like to vote. Really apparently people vote off celebrities, so shit, here's some celebrities for your ass.
Plus, I mean,
I just can't compare wrong with the wrong and try to find the right.
I don't think Hillary's really running on a platform of women advocacy. She's saying I'm a woman, and then that's apparently all the advocacy you have to have. Whereas most of what she says is just this guy's an asshole. Like it's not so much like listen. I really believe we all need to be respectful of each other, and I really think she's not saying those things. She's just going. This guy said a bunch of horrible stuff. Don't we hate him? Yeah, we all hate him together.
Yeah, but I think
a blame game. She wasn't doing that.
Well, I think to be fair, it's like if you're running against a guy who doesn't know nothing about policy, it's kind of hard to be like, I want to talk about what I want to do, but the guy next to me is calling me nasty and talking about other shit that has nothing to do with anything.
She basically just
nasty woman.
Yeah, that's what she did, and that's what I think might have hurt her. She should have stayed above ground and be like, look, she should have. Because there was points in time during the election when he was just making an ass of himself, and she wouldn't say anything to it, and it would make her look better.
Yeah.
Right. There would be times when she'd take his bait and start trying to stoop down, like, look, let him.
Silence is golden.
Yeah, did you hear Michelle Obama? She says don't stoop to their level.
They basically like you don't have to talk to a fool to make him a fool. You'll be a fool anyway.
Yeah.
But you let it get down so low to where policies matter, and the fear I had when the election started was that if she gets down to his level, she will possibly lose because the lower level is where he resides at. That's all him.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat him at the lower level. That's all he knows.
No, exactly.
But when you start going in there and try to go Twitter wars with him and little arguments and petty arguments, like, that's all he knows. He's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat him that type of way.
I think if she would have done that, how different this would be.
If you had always stayed up here, then you probably would have had more class.
Elizabeth Warren
you know, you gotta hand it to him on that front because he is one of the only opponents to have ever really survived the Clinton war machine as intact as he has. Well, no, because that's what it was called back when Bill Clinton was running. It was the war machine, and if you came out and said something like if there was some kind of mudslinging against Bill Clinton, buddy, they dug into your entire past and they found people to come out and talk about you from like 10 years ago. All kinds of stuff.
I'd be the same damn way. I wish you back and shit about me.
You don't think they did that to Trump? They did. He just kept being like, yeah, so what? I'm awesome. Yeah, so what?
That's what I'm saying.
That lady.
Go
It was sweet.
And that's what I told you. Remember that Trump is with him is that had he been the type of candidate that was scandal free, like McCain or Romney, then one little scandal would have took him under. But it happened. What I tell you, it happened so much people became desensitized to it. Like, oh, this is how Trump is. That's just Trump. He says crazy shit. We know.
They came out and supported him. They knew he was a jacked up ass human being.
Trump has never hidden the fact he's jacked up. He's never hidden that fact.
Okay, right?
When people are surprised that he says crazy shit, I'm like, he's been saying crazy shit.
Well, he allegedly did something to a 13-year-old. So who cares?
I actually heard very recently that there's a big belief that all the supporters of Trump don't necessarily. That of course there's the racist crazy people that support him. But then there's the people who just are so sick of the current status quo that they're like, I just want to shake stuff up. I just want stuff to explode.
I've heard that.
And that's why they're supporting
it. And I've heard that too.
And I was like,
I
what a
understand
waste.
that, but my thing to them would be, I understand you want to burn the house down, but what are you going to put in its place? Because you seem to have a plan. You just want to burn it down and just watch it burn, and then they turn around and be like, oh, well, now what? Like, well, you want to burn it down? Is what you wanted? You want the house burned down? Where we going to live now?
Hopefully they weighed out those differences and chose what they thought was best.
Nah. And that's the 1% that voted for Jill Stein. Poor Jill Stein. Sweet. Every time they show Johnson and Stein, I go like, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing doing it. You're still doing it.
You don't want to hear my opinion.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Don't be scared. You met him.
Three-way debate.
I think that she's a good person. She has a good message, but I just can't picture her being the leader of the free world. I can't see it. Like
Margaret
you seem like the lovely person. I would love to come visit you in the doctor's office. Oh my God.
Yeah. Doesn't she seem that way?
You're awesome, but outside of that, I'm just like, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And people keep talking about voting for Green Party and voting for a third party candidate. I'm like, if you give me somebody who I'm confident in, then I'll do that. But if not, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm not just going to do that just because, well, I'm protesting and I'm not voting for a two-party system. No. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. Fuck that. Sorry. Can't do it.
Well, say how you really feel.
I'm not going to do it.
No, I mean, I liked Johnson a lot. I thought he was a nice dude, and I also like William Weld from Boston, so he was a Boston guy, and I was like, oh, all right, he's a good dude. But it was just like, when you live in a state like Texas, you just can't waste it. Like, I was just like, no, I'm sorry. I love you, Johnson. I hope you get something. Get on the Senate. See if you get cozy up, get a cabinet or something, get in there.
Well, Amy, it's like what your mother said, like in that interview earlier, she said, like, it takes a lot of money, like there's a lot of good potential out there, but there's not that money backing, and unfortunately it seems like you have to have that money backing,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that it boils down to sometimes on money,
Yeah, it's hard.
But
Absolutely.
if anybody's going to pitch me about a third party, any other candidate, I just really want to know how much you donated throughout the year or years.
Oh, right.
So supportive.
Yeah.
Of such a candidate. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Yeah. I know.
Did you click on the GoFundMe?
Yes. I don't have no money to donate to a political party, so Okay.
I know. I thought about that
the Green
too.
Party's
I was
not
like,
my
I
third
wish.
party. That's not the third party that I see that could
Bring down the military. That's never gonna happen. You never get to the point you can get funding from the military. That much funding, that's never gonna happen.
You make a good point though about the idea of like you don't have enough money. I didn't have enough money to do it either, but that doesn't make our votes invalid.
Right.
Like just because we don't have enough money to donate to somebody doesn't mean I have no right to vote. I'm sorry that I'm at the poverty line. I can't. I'm still allowed to vote. I still matter when it comes to this thing, and I appreciate that. Like, I think with the reference to the money talk about where it's like, that's who's going to win. It's true because the money is what's going to get the action happening. And then the rest of us who are just like, well, I actually need that money to pay my bills as opposed to giving it to some dude who's going to get it from somebody else. And then, and then you got caught in this catch-22 because there's nobody there to represent you because you don't have the money to give to whoever. So, I don't know. I think it's a hard situation when it becomes that individuals feel beholden to putting money out there when it's like some of us are just trying to make it like generally day to day, never mind like exactly, but like but you matter, like your opinion matters, everything that's going on matters, like, and it just kills me that the poor in the country, their contribution doesn't matter as much because they can't donate to somebody in that moment.
That was a great speech, by the way.
That was good. That was dope.
Appreciate you all letting me speak, okay?
That's why nobody cut. That's why nobody interjected. I like where this is going.
It's my hurting. It's too late.
Like I've always said, I think the Green Party, people just need to be as active with them when it's time to vote as it is when it's not time to vote. It seems like people start coming around like right when it's time. It's kind of like. I think and a lot of the people in the Green Party, they're kind of like, where the hell were y'all at? We weren't doing anything. Like kind of come around. So I think the Green Party has some
the middle years.
Yeah, substantial, policies and views on things, and I definitely agree with. But I just think that people don't give a shit because Democrats and Republicans, they have all the money and they control most of what you see and what you hear. I also agree that the Green Party and any third, fourth party should be able to talk at the debates. I think it's bullshit. They can't go up there at least.
I think it's bullshit that they need at least 5% of the vote in order to be at the debate. I think.
I think that's fair.
If you're going to be on the ballot, at least let me come up. If I'm going to be on the ballot, at least let me come up there and say what I have to say.
Yeah.
That's
give
true.
Give me at least that. I may not win, but give me the opportunity to at least let the nation hear what I have to say.
Well, and that's what upsets me most about the current system that we have, because people say you're wasting your vote on a third party. You know, what's funny is that if we actually let a third party speak at a debate, like we haven't had a third podium at a presidential debate in a good 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary. You know, like that doesn't provide, I've said it before, it's two poles don't make a wigwam. That's a lean-to, and I really don't want to live in a lean-to, man.
So did anybody in here vote for a third party?
Yes.
Not for president.
Not for president.
No, well, not for president.
I did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
I did locally.
I have never voted. I have never voted red nor blue in my entire life. Never once.
Never in your entire life?
Nope.
You're an older person.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I've been through a few elections.
Yeah, he's voted in more elections than I think any of us.
Probably.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm 41.
I always forget. You told me last time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've never.
I'm old enough. Old enough to have seen my days of trouble.
His tiger shirt really gives
That's
him
right.
makes him seem like he's about 17.
It belies my age. This is my conquering shirt.
Yeah,
This is.
we're hoping to conquer tonight.
I don't know what we're conquering,
Show face
but
for
we're
flag.
conquering. We're
Show face
conquering
for flag,
America.
that conquering shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are y'all looking at the comments?
This is the eye of the tiger,
No,
everybody.
wait.
I can't see him.
I'm probably getting cussed out. Hold on. Before I get cussed out. Wait a minute.
What's funny? He's not trying to actually hurt the zebras. He's just giving them a freaking laser show, dude. And they're all freaking out. The laser show. He's just showing off some laser skills. That's all.
No big deal. Just
No big-
tigers with lasers in
No
their
big-
eyes. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
do have to
lot
make it
like
right.
this
You're right.
election.
Yeah,
you know,
do.
metaphorically.
Whoa.
All right, I went too far. I don't go with my poverty speech. I lost him with the laser.
But yeah, I think that the big problem is the fact that people think that a third party is deliberately throwing a vote away.
Your phone already
We're getting
broke.
ready. Look at you already.
Get your life together.
No, I heard what you were saying, Chris. You know, about
0.5
the, you know, having three-way debate deal type of deal, and you know, I think Bernie should have stayed independent.
Well, and that's the point that I was making in yesterday's episode. Number one, and you can go back, you could listen to old episodes when Fitz was on, stuff like that.
Right.
He was a big Bernie guy. I didn't mind Bernie. I like Bernie. My problem was this.
I did too.
You dropped the I from your name and you put a D behind it. And when you did that, you completely and utterly sold out every principle that you had when you made yourself an I.
Yeah.
You were no longer an independent. Now you are part of this, what you are yourself calling a rigged system.
I'm sure they had.
The only way to truly prove the fact that it's a rigged system is to run as an independent, is to provide a viable third. I said it yesterday with my mother-in-law, the former electoral college member. We would have a far cry different election going on tonight had he stayed an independent.
Probably would have had to been a three-way at least. So.
Yeah, like we would have had the third podium on the stage. I guarantee you. He had enough people behind him.
Bernie supporters.
He had enough Bernie supporters behind him that he could have definitely made a good run of it.
I think the money aspect got to him. He felt like running independent, I won't get as much money flowing to me.
Something persuaded.
Yeah,
what it was, but something had to.
Yeah, but also look at the fact of there hadn't been a whole lot of Trump ads. The ads that have been made by Trump or made on behalf of Trump weren't made by Trump. They were made by like individual Trump campaigns.
And then Trump didn't need ads because he was on TV every 5 damn minutes.
Yeah.
Every station in the country. I think even he said that. He's like, well, I need to pay my ads for
crazy. Every episode of FYO started out with Donald Trump.
Y'all feel my plane landing.
Just talk crazy.
Playing right into it.
Yeah.
I got more people
playing right into
it.
But
there's no such thing as that.
You know, that's it. That's it. That's exactly what he's saying. Is there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, you're talking about Bernie Sanders. You're talking about Bernie Sanders having principles. Yeah, well, apparently that's not what you need to be president. Apparently principles not as important as being a blowhard.
He was Mr. Principal.
Who will just keep talking and being crazy and just messing with people all the time. Like, that's what you need to be, apparently.
Yeah. And he got shut out. So...
Poor sad little Bernie.
If Trump wins, Bernie really shut the fuck out. They're gonna shoot him to oblivion.
Oh yeah.
So
there have been all kinds of people responding on our Facebook feed over here. Hey everybody. And I've been trying
I'm too far away. I see somebody tweeting.
I've been actually trying to tune in over here. And my computer doesn't want to update the feed.
I knew Zach's always in there.
Zach said he's more nervous than a fish at a fish fry.
Yeah.
Damn.
Me too.
My nerves are shot. I need to start taking shots or something. Like, this is not going to work.
I'm not nervous.
You know, I was gonna.
I didn't tell Chris, but I got a butterfly.
I'm not really nervous. I think I was more nervous Obama's second term.
I'm more nervous Obama's second. I'm not nervous.
I was more nervous back then than I am now.
Zach says
I think anybody going to this thinking that Trump didn't have a movement behind him.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not nervous.
I'm really looking at him like Sanders.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah, right.
Hey, thanks Zach for watching.
Hey, that mic's over here, dude.
Oh. Even better. Even better.
You know what I say? I'm more anxious.
Anxious?
I have a feeling we're not going to finish this tonight.
Oh, no, we're not. After I heard them talking about doing the recount.
Wait until this.
We're not going to know tonight.
Oh, no. We're in, it's like I was saying on my show yesterday, it's you can get ready for lawsuits to sling from either side of the fence.
Trump tried to file a lawsuit this morning about Nevada.
Either
side. That shit out. The judge was like, no.
I think he wakes up on a daily basis doing lawsuits.
So they already let you know right there that he's not ready. He's not, even if it doesn't go his way, he's not.
And did you see his Twitter like about an hour ago? He said something about like, I get all the votes or something like. I'm speaking verbatim, but something about like, all the votes, but I still don't win. And then he said revolution or something like that. Like
if he loses, there's no way he's conceding. His ego will not let him sit there and say, I lost.
That's what I'm saying, though, is if he wins, I guarantee you Hillary Clinton will sue. Either way, you're going to be looking at lawsuits coming.
You think she'll
sue? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably
it's their constitutional right to sue. And in an election like this,
and he brought that up.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Like, either way, I'm sorry. I really see that going down.
If he blows her out, then I don't think she will.
And right now, the way it's going, it's neck and neck. It's not enough for both of them to.
If it stays neck and neck, I can see him. But it depends if automatic recount happens.
But you think she's going to concede? Oh, hell no. The Clinton war machine's going to go kill him and all his people and all the insanity. And then that's when the revolution's going to come. Because they're going to go, whoa, that's
I know Hillary runs the mafia. I know.
Right? She's like,
I am so tired of it.
You end up in your car, Dad, at the park.
Wouldn't it be nice
you were
if
supposed to
Mom
testify.
like a head in your bed or something. Like, she is not that horrible. I really need people to cut all this shit when it comes to Hillary.
I really need people to cut. She was horrible when she started figuring she was going to run for president. When she was winning the Senate seat by a landslide, and she was fine. But then as soon as 2015 came around, so she's about to run again, and she was, oh shit, it's crooked Hillary time. I'm like, okay.
Crooked Hillary time. My boss or something.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I think I'd still run with that if I was her.
I would.
I'm crooked Hillary. I'm crooked Hillary.
You would think I would shoot Knight if I ran for politics. I would openly brag about it. I said, you damn right I got him shot. I'm glad he lived.
She's been dressing like Suge Knight this entire time.
I know, right?
She might be playing into it a little.
I told you I was going through some of those emails before the show. I was at work earlier, and I was, I was going through them. I thought to myself, like, holy shit, she really emails like a fucking 70-year-old woman. She was asking like she emailed one of her aides and say, "Do you mind printing out send me this link for this TV show? I can't watch it while I'm mad." She sent Uma Abedin like a whole bunch of emails saying, "Are you up?" I'm like, "What the fuck?
Are you up?
Are you up?" Like this is WikiLeaks' big reveal. Like, a 70-year-old woman emailed each other.
A 70-year-old woman acting like a 70-year-old woman.
A 70-year-old woman.
Oh my god!
Like what the hell?
Shocking! How
this is the best y'all can come.
That's hilarious.
Poor WikiLeaks, they try. I mean,
this election also showed me that people refuse to do their own research and make up their own minds.
Like, what? You know why they
didn't take this election from me?
No, you know what? And Obama mentioned
it.
It
didn't take this one from me.
Yeah, you know what it was is that we live in because he did an interview with Bill Maher, and Bill Maher said he would like to see news go back to where it was in the '60s, where everybody was more objective. But Obama made a point and said, "Yeah, there was also monopolies back then, so they didn't care about."
You gotta tell the truth. They don't want you to tell.
He said, "But now we live in a world where there's 80 different sources of news, and people, what they have, if you have an opinion, most people don't go to the opposite opinion. They go to the opinion that matches what they're going to say. Yeah. So if somebody thinks Hillary's a lizard person, like the stripper I brought was, she's going to find the people that keep all things Hillary's a lizard person."
You know, I am not going to discount what she said either.
Can somebody just like quote that sentence on something? Like,
She went to a whole speech about it. Yeah, she went to a whole speech about it. And Chris and Steve just got quiet. Like, and Chris being the good host, he was like, yeah.
I have heard the theories. Was I not able to carry it? I've heard the theories.
I think Steve gave like a weird look like, what the
I think Steve was more shocked that I didn't move the conversation on to something else.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. Yeah, I know.
Which is like, that's an excellent point.
Holy shit. Hey, man. I can bring strippers back.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's representing the lizard.
I'm not gonna lie. When the raccoon comes up to my campsite, I give it something because it's kind of cool to sit there and watch it.
Oh my God.
It was absolutely hilarious to me. It was great. It was fantastic.
I was thoroughly embarrassed, I must say. I want to take a headphones off and say, you know what, man, just sit back there.
You were.
Here's some paper and a pen. Go draw.
Yeah. You were putting down some margaritas that night.
Yeah, I stopped drinking. When she got stopped drinking, I was like, you know, I can put my drink down. It's just because we were having a productive conversation like we always do. She just interjected with, you know, Hillary, when the lizard people, we were like,
because I hadn't heard from her. That's like you have been sitting over there, social media and all night, and I want to know what you're social mediaing about. What's going on? She went.
That's what she slid in there with.
I was all right with it. That's cool.
She represents people in this world.
Yeah, she does.
There are plenty of Americans who are like, yeah, that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I also agree with that. That's why I'm a Scientologist, because I like them lizard people.
It was just amazing to see. And it's always interesting to talk to people that have different opinions, but the people that are open-minded is one thing.
Right.
But she was so convinced. Like, her face got focused. Her voice lifted up a little bit. I'm like, wow, she's really giving a speech about this.
She's really indignant about this.
She was serious. She was not.
I'm sure.
She was dead serious.
She was not playing one bit, my friend.
I want to say, please turn off YouTube.
Absolutely not.
When Rihanna goes off, just cut it off.
If you'd like to learn more about Hillary and other lizard people,
David Icke,
feel free to check out the work of David Icke, ICKE. Very interesting stuff.
Fuck that.
I gotta read some of this stuff.
He puts it out there for sure.
I'll tell you right now, Fresh, come on, those damn comic guys talking about lizard people.
This is why we have Trump as a candidate. Because you are allowed to believe whatever you want to believe, and apparently you can believe ridiculous, crazy bullshit.
The internet is dangerous.
Shit.
Don't say that.
I was wondering.
It was a slit.
Don't say that.
Don't say what.
Don't take that right away.
I was wondering when she dances, does she think about these things in her head? Like, you know, what I mean, losing people in the crowd tonight. You go through your head as you're dancing.
Any lizard people out
there tonight. The freaks come out at night.
I'm fixing to back it up.
She's not doing it because the money's good. She's doing it because it's like, no, this is the right career path.
What's that movie where the guy put the glasses on and would see the aliens?
They live.
We just watched that.
I imagine when she's dancing, she's thinking at her head, how many lizard people out here? If I put these glasses on, how many lizard people out
here? Bubble gum and kick ass.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I've thought that the entire election. I've been like, oh man, where are the sunglasses? Because I'm going to be like, the whole place is insane.
I can put them on and see like Trump's boy take them on. Holy shit, like.
Yeah.
You put the
I
glass
like
on,
that
all of a
poster
sudden they're orange
Hillary
like him.
and
You're
Trump
like,
making
no.
out. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
did y'all see that one that I put out today?
It's like an old
Yeah.
couple that can't
That's
stand
awesome.
each other, but they've been
Wait,
married
did
like
you have
60
the one where he
some
was
years or
actually
something.
grabbing her, or did you have the other one?
No, just the one where they were kissing.
Oh, no.
Just the one where they were
He's like,
kissing.
I could
Totally
straight up
see that
grab
they're
her
so,
and then
like-
make out.
Who's kissing?
Like each other.
Hillary
That's
and
what
Trump.
devoured each other.
It's disgusting. I threw up.
Ah.
I love
If
that
you wanna get
glass,
rid of
by the
anything,
way.
it's Photoshop.
Right? Isn't it awesome?
Look, I think they should be married.
Nothing
Look,
but
they look
glass.
like
Where's my
put them in a
friend?
portrait together. That'd be great, man.
Nelson.
Oh, Nelson.
Nelson had other plans tonight, Tia. Let's all give a
No.
hi and howdy and
Nelson,
screw you to
you
Nelson.
don't know Nelson.
Screw you, Nelson. We love you.
Oh, Nelson had an election party he wanted to go to.
Nelson
and
had
Yeah, but it ain't
something
as
that he
cool as
apparently
this
had
one.
planned for the election, and apparently forgot that the election occurs on a Tuesday,
It's weird.
which is Dudes and Beer Night. So he didn't correlate the two in his brain. So that's all right, Nelson. If you're out there listening, which you better be, stop by when you're done.
No excuse.
That's
No,
right.
stop by when you're done. We'll be seeing you.
Yeah, yeah. Nelson's not here. Sorry.
Confucius, do you have an update on what's going on?
No, I'm reading articles.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
Why don't you have an update? You're fired.
We had a
I was
good
like,
time.
you
I
read
mean, watching
lizard.
TV, that's why.
Here's just an
You
update.
reading lizard
You're supposed to
people?
interpret everything.
Hell no.
No.
Well, no, but what the map is basically showing is that there is deep division partisan-wise. Like the states
Yes.
that are like super red, they're really going super red. The states that are super blue are going super fucking blue.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was when Obama ran, where it's kind of like toss up, like, oh, we might,
Yeah.
we don't know where this is going, but it's kind of looking like, yeah, it's about to be there.
It is weird though that my mom made a good point yesterday when they were talking about that the blue states on the edges actually
Right.
have a larger population,
Larger.
even though the states themselves are physically smaller. More people live in them. Places like New York and Massachusetts,
Yeah.
like the population is
Yeah.
higher, so technically they get more electoral votes anyway
Yeah.
than some of these other ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I
it's
heard
like,
you say
don't
that.
worry about it. I know that you look at the whole map and it's like,
All is red, but it's like, yeah.
oh, blue on the side. Oh no, we're surrounded, or rather, they're everywhere. But it's like, no, that's where most of the people live is on the edges. So you're
Yeah.
okay. They still
You know,
have
it's funny if you look at most election
Why
maps, it
people
usually
not
looks like
looking
that,
at
where it's a
right
bunch of
now?
blue on the
Yeah.
side and then red all in the middle. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most, like I said, the population lives on the coastal area.
Yeah.
So basically, people can stop having heart attacks right now.
Exactly.
I think
What
it
do you
should be fine.
mean?
I mean, it's not over, but these battleground states all still so close.
The battleground.
Yeah, that's true. With
I've been
Florida
telling
out,
people
it's
to calm
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
What is Fox saying now?
Dun-dun-dun.
Well,
I'm
Florida's
just ready to see
maybe.
Kenny. I'm excited.
Surprising street.
I'm gonna be excited depending on who wins tonight. If Trump wins, I'm gonna listen to Henry ever again. Henry's gonna be in there butt naked touching himself. Like, this is the best thing I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Oh, damn.
This is what I've been working for.
Henry's been waiting for this
And
moment.
if it's Hillary, he's gonna shoot himself in the face live on TV.
Right?
Or at least come out that he's a lizard person, right?
Probably.
One of those.
But what if it keeps going all night long? That
I'm
Trump
telling
got
you,
this,
people,
Trump got
look it
this,
up.
and then
Get
like,
out of
boom,
here.
all the way to the last moment, and then they say,
I'm
"Give
gonna
me
be-
one."
Look at
And
how
then, like,
quiet Fresh
man,
is.
like
He's
the-
reading about
the
lizard
hatred
people.
and the-
Hey, mom.
Thank you.
Actually nice.
Okay.
Get back doing it.
He's like,
What is
this
this?
is a
This
very
one's
interesting
crazy.
article about the lizard
Legion.
people.
All right, other people.
It's Marvel and Fox.
Yes, it is.
Ah.
Yes, it is. So I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
What's that?
Um,
Doctor Strange.
We got like 3 minutes left in this episode, so we aren't going to talk about it. But yes, FX is coming out with a new Legion X series that's going to be interesting. I'm more than interested to see what Netflix is doing with Iron Fist. I think that's going to be great.
Did I say that was gonna be the best show next year?
I think so.
I said Punisher. No, I said Defenders.
Defenders.
Is
No,
Iron
you said
Fist
Punisher,
the
I said
one that
Defenders.
combines Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and
Defenders.
That's
Derek?
Defenders.
Oh, okay.
We get three. We get
You
three.
said
next year.
Punisher.
I watched all of Luke Cage already.
Huh?
You said Punisher, I said Defender.
Oh, I
Okay, yeah, I
love
said
Luke
Punisher.
Cage.
I said Punisher.
Yeah.
I said Punisher.
Punisher's going to be dope, dude.
Yeah, I think Punisher's gonna be great.
As gritty as they've made Daredevil, Punisher's going to be nasty.
Oh yeah, because as you think about it, even though season 2 of Daredevil was good, best parts when he was in there.
Yeah.
Like when he wasn't on there, he was kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
All right. But then we got back on. Yeah, this is why. Okay, this is why I'm watching it.
Yeah.
It's true. I had a hard time with Daredevil. I didn't even make it all the way to the end because I was like, oh god, this guy. But
this guy.
But something, because it didn't have the forward motion of a single plot throughout the whole thing. It was like a bunch of little different things, and then occasionally the Punisher would show up here and there like that. So it was like a few episodes. I'd be like, yeah, I'll get back to it.
It's like, you know what though? If you follow superhero movies, they even follow that tradition with the first movie, like this one singular plot, they're trying to introduce the hero and show his purpose, and then the second one comes around and try to stuff as much shit as they can in. Yeah. There's no reason to explain why he has his powers. Just be happy with the fact that they're there.
Yeah,
sounds right. That sounds about right.
But now Doctor Strange is great. I loved it. Marvel has a formula that they clearly are sticking to and winning with. Like I said, I didn't know much about Doctor Strange. Fresh had to bring it up today, so
yeah,
it was. I loved it. It was good. We should have thought in 3D, but the way our fun was set up,
yeah,
we barely made the regular show.
Right?
Shit, 3D. But it was good. I liked it. It was good. It was good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to my viewing of it. So I just did some viewing of. I fell asleep during it, but then I viewed it again. X-Men: Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Luke Cage. I was like, yeah, you did sleep through it.
Oh, did you fall asleep on that one?
I fell asleep through it.
I fell asleep in Age of Apocalypse.
You did. But it was too predictable, I thought. I don't know, I didn't like it.
It's hard when you get used to binging shows and then all of a sudden, you start binging a show that, has a lot going on and then you're like, I can't stay up for all this, but it's interesting. Oh, I'm asleep. Yeah. Now, I like doing, maybe 2 episodes at a time because, especially with those kinds of things, you have to, let it soak in. You're like, whoa. This major thing just changed. I have to deal with this now, as opposed to just going on to the next bit. I don't know. I loved Luke Cage. I thought it was really wonderful. The music was great. Everybody in it was just killing it.
That's why I watched it.
I loved the guy that played Luke Cage so much. He was so great.
Yeah, he was great.
He's always going out to have coffee, man.
I'll admit, I may or may not have some extra hormones making me a little weepy, but after the end of that show, I cried because I was so proud of, what's his name, Mike Coulter, because I was like, this is a major role for him, and he did so great.
I'm so proud of him.
And people are gonna give him so many movies now, because he's amazing. And I'm crying, and he's like, are you alright? And I'm like,
Marvel would shut your schedule down for years. You can't do movies for 5 years, don't even ask. Look at Chris Evans. Chris Evans sneaks in 2 this whole time to Captain America.
Well, he did Snow on the call, even when you're not doing anything.
On that note, everybody, we are going to take a quick break. We've got some commercials coming up here on Fox with the election stuff. We're going to get caught up. We're going to take a quick bio, catch up for just a minute, and when we come back, we'll keep up with the latest on the election. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Bobby Drake did it. Bobby Drake's podcast is called Sneakers and Snatch.
But yours came out before his, well before his.
We're talking about non-election things.
Very, very non-election things.
You're right, but think of it like this. Bobby is in San Diego, in porn country. I'm in Austin.
Hey. Don't worry about that, Steve-O.
We promise, audience, we did get to this conversation. We're discussing the California prop.
We back live.
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Y'all are live and y'all talking about porn right now.
I don't give a shit.
This is America, and they're allowed to talk about anything they want to talk about.
But it matters.
It's a Prop 60. It's actually happening tonight.
It is a vote.
Yeah.
And Trump said he's going to try to get rid of porn.
Trump is not trying to get rid of porn.
He's not going to get rid of it.
That's why I draw the goddamn line. Wait a minute. You're doing way too much now, sir.
That's un-America.
His wife.
That's not about America.
Your wife titties. What kind of shit is that?
I mean, because we see more than titties.
Yeah. You can't get rid of beer. You can't get rid of porn.
They get rid of beer. I'm going to be the biggest bootlegger. You think I was Al Capone? Running moonshine from here, Canada.
Not a lot of people remember the whole Whiskey Rebellion. That was our second Revolutionary War, and technically our first Civil War that happened right after the Revolutionary War, when we were so far in debt that Andrew Jackson actually put forth the fact of, why don't we tax spirits? Yeah. We can't tax beer because we have the public house, and that's where the common man hangs out. You can use dirty water to make beer, but you got to have clean water to make whiskey. So what we can do is tax spirits instead, and all these people, for some odd reason, in the hills of Tennessee and Kentucky and stuff, were like, "Hey, wait a minute! What the heck are you talking about?
Way too much.
We don't have representation yet, and you're talking about taxing us.
I remember learning that in college and just sitting there in class thinking
history.
And Andrew Jackson was supposed to be the president of the common man. Like, you trying to tax spirit? Everybody getting drunk. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's drinking whiskey and bourbon. Like, this is what you were taxing, and you were quote unquote president of the common man, like the every man's president. Like, nah, Jackson.
Well, they tax spirits because not everybody had access to clean enough water to make it.
And why they call
spirits? Not everybody distilled, but most people were brewing or home brewing and stuff like that. So the tax didn't trickle down to the common man everywhere, but it definitely trickled down to some bigger businesses. Which, if you even look at the whole reason for the Boston Tea Party to begin with. That in and of itself was because of a corporate
taxation without representation.
Not even that. That was a corporate tax break. Like, it was basically, we had to pay tariffs on tea that was coming in, but the company that was shipping the tea in didn't have to pay any money. And so we got taxed on buying the product, but they didn't get taxed on bringing the product in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Boston. We as a people don't enjoy that kind of thing.
That was the Northeast
and the cars.
Yeah,
the cars.
That was the North India Trading Company.
The first tea party.
That was the Boston
Tea
video
where Affleck tell people to vote.
Yeah.
He said they was a little Pats fan. I said he had that Boston accent.
He was trying to get people in New Hampshire to vote.
Yeah.
He said, wait a minute, curses. Take that out of there. Take that shit out of there. Like,
take it out of there now.
We don't want your tea.
Yeah.
My God.
That's hilarious.
To your question, why they call it spirits, I believe they call it spirits because it was believed that when you drank spirits and you got to the point of inebriation, that it was looked as a spirit coming out because you weren't acting as the way you did.
It was
you normally.
I agree with that.
Orlando Brown.
It was also.
He on heavy drugs.
It was also heavy drugs.
Orlando Brown is on heavy drugs.
It was also the fact of, as opposed to brewing, where your volume actually grows, and distilling, your volume shrinks. There's some of it that goes away.
Oh, like a spirit.
And that's where the whole devil's cut and the angel's cut and things like that comes from. In whiskey distilling.
How about my devil's backbone? I like drinking that.
And that's brewing. That's an IPA.
I know devil's cut is whiskey because Jim Beam has a devil's cut.
Yeah, the devil's cut is actually stuff that they extract out of the wood of the barrel.
Yeah.
Oh
Why
shit!
do you have to call it
That sounds rough.
Because there's a part of whiskey that's called the angel's portion, which is the first part that comes out. Which is really fruity and aromatic.
Jim Beam really does a great
else.
job of explaining the other commercial for that devil's cut.
Wow.
They really go through and explain
they do a good job.
Devil's cut and why it's angel's portion.
Wow.
Thank you very much, marketing department of Jim Beam.
That's right.
Why it's so
They
hard.
do it very quick in like a minute.
They do. Within a 30-second commercial.
I did not know
It's
that.
precise and concise, and it tells you, and then you get why it's called the devil's cut.
Everybody in my timeline is convinced that Donald Trump is not expecting. Everybody on my timeline.
It's because the everyday.
I feel like everybody is like running around in circles, like with their hair, like.
And I bet you they don't. I bet you they don't know that it takes 270 electoral votes to become president either.
Yeah,
Bobby Drake.
They, but I just.
Bobby Drake.
He's a guy who used to be part of RDG.
Iceman.
He forgot.
Big shout outs to the family, by the way, tonight.
He said,
we have quite a bit of the RDG family.
Try one. I've never tried.
We have all the RDG family.
There's everybody. There's nobody else here.
Everybody.
But now he because he's a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I still haven't approved your paper yet. But
conspiracy theorist.
He said
who have I not met?
This election, he lives in San Diego. This election night is like a reality show where
it is.
Hillary starts off down, but at the very, very end, she comes back and wins. It's just called ratings.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the World Series. When I turned it on, I said, shit, the Cubs about to lose.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Cleveland was going to win. It was up 3-1. I thought Cleveland was going to win.
Fucking Chicago came back and won that bitch.
That's it.
God saying they wanted the Cubbies to finally get a championship.
Yep.
That was
Steven Spielberg was only a year off.
Oh yeah, he did say that in Back to the Future.
2015, yeah. And did you see there was actually a picture, and I can't remember which player it was, but there is an actual player from the Cubs this year that, like, his high school picture was him, like, World Series champion,
2016.
Yeah, I seen that
Chicago
guy.
He's like, wait and see. And like that was his yearbook quote. And it's like, whoa, that's creepy. That's crazy.
I remember when they won. I thought to myself, Bill Murray, this is the best.
Oh God, yeah.
Week of his life. He got the Mark Twain Presidential Award and the Cubs Award.
I will admit the fact that I lived in Maine. The first year I lived in Maine was the year that the Red Sox broke the curse of the Bambino.
Yeah.
And they went for three-peat. You know, it was pretty incredible. And
he's a Yankees fan.
At the same time,
I remember when they won.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
The paint is still fresh.
And he says 3 times.
I also lived there when the Houston Astros went. And as a Houston fan, you know, you kind of just get this feeling as a Houston fan that we got our teams. And, you know, we expect something out of our basketball team because they won 3. We expect something out of you.
They got 3?
The rest of you.
They got 2. Rockets got 2.
Yeah.
If you count the merger, I think they won one before the merger.
Yeah.
Huh.
But nobody counts
the merger. If that's the case, Cleveland would already have one.
Get that to the fans. But my Eagles got a Super Bowl even for a championship.
But yeah, you know, it was like anytime we got close with football, nope, didn't happen. We'd get somebody good with football, and now we give them away, you know, and sure enough, they go off and win something.
That is how it works.
And yeah, like even Nolan Ryan, oh, sorry, Nolan, you're too old, arms getting old. We let him go. Ends up with the Rangers and into the Hall of Fame wearing the Rangers jersey. You know, Hispanic. But they went. Who was it? I think it was the Cardinals that they went up against.
Maybe like 5 generations.
And everybody in Maine was like, "Oh my God, the Astros aren't going to win." I was like, "I don't think you get it." As a Houston sports fan, they've already won. Like, they made it to the big game. It doesn't matter if they get swept, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's what happened. They got swept.
Yeah.
But literally...
I've seen so many baseball fans in my life when Houston won. I said, damn, you play baseball now?
I actually saw that on Facebook Memories. They pop up like, oh, so all of a sudden, all y'all baseball fans now?
Yeah.
Everybody all of a sudden was a baseball fan. When Houston was number 1, went to the final. I was like, what?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Is that when I lived in Maine...
trash.
When I was in Maine, it was right after the curse of Bambino was broken, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Houston ain't gonna win." I'm like, I don't think you get it. As someone from Houston, we already won because we're here. This is as far as we've ever gotten. So congratulations!
You just want to be here.
Like, you're gonna get a participant's ring. It's not a winner's ring, but it's a participant's ring, and we're okay with that.
Dang. You want to go that way? That's cool.
So right now they're going through state representatives and districts and stuff like that.
I see Dewana Dukes won, even though she's going to resign in January, which is kind of pointless.
Why she resigning in January?
She's resigning in January. 1, she's under investigation.
Woo!
2, she said it's because of medical problems. But she's under investigation because her use of personal funds and personal time. Apparently, in the last legislative session, she missed 84 days.
Oh,
so
goodness!
And she claimed that they were because of a car accident that she was in. So she was taking those 84 days off to go to the hospital and all that. Doctors.
If true,
but that's not what the rest of the legislative thinks was going on. They think that she literally was using that to just have time off, and also that she was having her personal aides do her personal errands, like run and get her dry cleaning and pick her children up from work, from school, and all of that.
So it's very possible she could.
So what do you have?
I wouldn't put it past one. She probably was.
What do you have AIDS for? If not,
that's what I. That was my question. When I read the article, like, isn't that what your aid is supposed to do?
Technically, the question is.
That question for a second.
Technically, the question would really be. The question would really be: is that aid on the authorized pickup list at the school?
I guess that's a good point.
As long as the aid's on the authorized pickup list.
I didn't see an issue with the aide picking up her daughter from work. I was like, is that not what an aide is supposed to do? That's what I read. That's what aides do that work for government officials. They do the stuff that they don't have time to do. Absolutely. She doesn't have time to get off and go pick up her daughter, so she sends her aide to pick her up.
That's it.
I thought that's what they were there for.
I've seen some of that stuff back in the day when I used to work at this.
Thurgood Marshall had his aide go to
in Tampa. Dan Morales.
He's an alcoholic.
me.
He was out of college. He had his A's go and he had him taping soap operas.
You know,
because he was a soap opera.
Drop off his kids or pick up his
I had to read it in constitutional law. He had his aides. Thurgood Marshall had his aides tape his soap opera so he would not miss them. And that's what they did.
Of course, he got convicted of fraud.
But at least he taped them and watched them later and didn't take the day off and watched them anyway.
That's what they say she was taking them off for. She says otherwise, but she's under investigation, so she is resigning. But I mean, when you miss 84 days out of the entire legislation, it's only it's a little over 100. I mean,
yeah, there's it's like a third of the year.
And you taking those 84 days and you still getting paid as if you were in the legislative session. So I mean,
yeah,
it kind of looks kind of bad. So
yeah, that is kind of bad.
When she resigns in January, they're going to end up having to have a special election to fill her seat. So
what's the point?
That's what I say. What's the point?
Yeah. It sounded like she liked her position very much. I don't know.
I know she's just tired.
She enjoyed the cash for sure.
She's just tired, yeah.
Right?
Like what?
She likes having the position. She just doesn't want to do work.
She won a night, man.
And now that's really fucked up.
She wants a night.
People don't like her. People just probably voted for her and didn't know who the hell she was. That's
don't miss 84 days.
That's part of my problem.
Well, and a lot with elections is it works off name recognition. So people probably saw DeWanna Deuce's name so much in the news. So when they got to the ballot and they saw her, they was like, well, I've seen her name before.
Tia, I wish it wasn't that way.
Yeah, it is like that though.
Oh, I reckon.
I wish it wasn't that way.
It's really that's the movie Eddie Murphy did, Distinguished Gentleman, when he ran, when he was a con man and he ran for Congress, and that's how he got on name recognition.
I don't know.
His name was the name of
the one I've been putting out there. The one I've been putting out there since the beginning is Brewster's Millions.
Richard Pryor.
None of the above. Vote none of the above. There was the millionaire saying like, no, literally, don't vote for me, but don't vote for them either. Write in none of the above. Like, it changed everything. Write in none of the above. So,
I had a
Austin,
conversation with somebody else on Facebook though, and she was talking about all the people who just voted straight to get in there. It's like,
oh yeah,
and I have no idea what they did.
I've never gotten that. And I have family members that vote that way. I know people that vote that way, and it blows my mind to literally just go in and say Democrat all the way down or Republican all the way down. I vote my conscience. I try to keep up with everything. It's hard to keep up. We've said it before, all of us on this podcast, and I know on y'all's. It's really the state and local stuff that's going to change your life. Exactly. Not necessarily the federal stuff on a large scale. Because like we were saying, the president has 10 jobs, man.
Right. And that's what people pay
and none of them are writing laws.
Attention to.
None of them are writing laws.
No.
He can make some treaties with foreign governments with the permission of Congress. That's it.
But the only power is the government that directly affects you.
Yeah, that's the one that hits your. That's the one that hits your wallet on the regular basis.
Pretty much.
You know, that's the one that impacts you. Like Prop 1 that they were just talking about that apparently passed, where apparently they're talking about building a pseudo expressway in Mopac and stuff. Basically, an occasional. It's basically an occasional tollway. Where if during peak hours, if you choose to ride it, you will pay extra money, and they have that in Houston. They have that in other cities.
They have it all through the state of Texas.
I'm not going to say that it's
privately owned.
I'm not going to say that it changes the traffic situation for the people around
and
it.
That's the big argument with it is nobody has said that it's supposed to decongest the roads and the highways, but nobody has said the 8 years that it's supposed to take to build this pseudo expressway.
Yeah.
How much more will it congest the streets and the highways than they already are?
And
nobody really says that. And nobody's really clear on how much the property tax is raised. The mayor, Steve Adler, says it's supposed to only raise your property tax maybe like $5 or $6 if your house is worth $250,000 and up. But other people say no, it's really going to raise it probably like $100.
But what they didn't do at the same time was take into the fact that they just raised property value by 15 to 20%. in the Austin area.
There you go.
So whenever you say it's a negligible 1 to 2% raise, it's a negligible 1 to 2% raise on top of what you're paying, on top of the 20% increase in your property value. So really, we're looking at about closer to 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that is.
So if your house is worth $250,000,
Yeah,
you're going to be paying. You're paying way more than $5 or $6 on your property tax.
Yeah. You're going to be looking at closer to about 12, something like that.
That affects me.
Which is a good amount of increase. And I heard somebody the other day on a local talk show, and I can't remember, it was a few weeks ago, but they were talking about Prop 1, and his solution to it was actually to buy out the state contract on 130. The Beltway that exists just outside of town, right there where you are.
Yeah.
Buy out that contract, open it up as a public throughway, and actually create exits. Because it's basically a big uninterrupted beltway to San Antonio, and it's 85 miles an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. It's pretty fun to hit. I'm going to admit it. I've taken it a couple times.
It's the closest thing we have to the Autobahn.
It's super duper.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
But to actually buy out the contract on that, make it into a normal public throughway instead of a tollway, put exits on it where these small towns are, more exits like where you are, and actually you would build businesses, you would build jobs, you would build all kinds of stuff off just that. And at the same time alleviate a lot of the traffic of people that have to come up north to hit 35 or 183 to be able to get to work north or south.
And that was something else that was brought up, like they said that
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Austin really needs a all the way through rail line. They don't need
what we got
runs a limited amount. It only runs within the city limits, and I think it goes all the way to Liberty Hill.
I want to say so too. Yeah,
but I don't think anybody in Liberty Hill rides it.
Right.
Or
at least
they don't ride it as much as they probably
What
should.
is that big ass mall out there? Arboretum or some shit like that? Somewhere, I don't know. Something like that.
Well, they talked about introducing a trolley system up along SoCo, up along the South Congress area. Some kind of like electronic swan boat type thing that would take like 12 people at a time. And it's like, good Lord, what the hell kind of use is that? 12 people at a time. Why don't you just let Uber back? And
right.
I saw an article where they said
but if they let Uber back, then you couldn't use Dudes 10 on Fare. Make sure to do
That's right.
Go to Fare, everybody.
What are you talking about?
Use the code Dudes 10 and get 10% off all your rides with Fare.
Or use FYO.
You don't need to use that. You don't need to use that. You can use that though. That one's just as legitimate.
Had to plug it.
I know. He goes, we're shameless.
He's not.
Shameless on this show, I'm telling you.
Hey, from where I'm at, which is basically MLK, it's 969 way the hell out there, like Weberville. So on the I-30 thing, it took me 20 minutes, literally, I timed it, to go to Mac Height, which is, all the way up in Round Rock. What's that damn exit? It's Georgetown, basically. Actually, it's Georgetown.
Yeah.
It took me 20 minutes.
That's not bad, dude.
It's not bad.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
That's going straight up 130.
Yeah, straight up 130.
Yeah, and that's just it because
you do a little swing over for 5 minutes on 45, and then you're on 40 or 35, and then you're there.
Down the street from her house.
Yeah, and I mean, literally between your house and Round Rock, there's all of 6 exits. Yeah, there's all of 6 exits.
You get on, it's like the Autobahn. It's like,
yeah. No, it's 85 miles an hour uninterrupted. It's great. It's fantastic. You drop that thing down to 70 and turn it into an out-of-town freeway and alleviate a lot of traffic coming
that
in
could really work.
from Bass Trip, all kinds of stuff like that.
Running for city council came up with that idea
because it's not an idea that's talking about revenues from TxDOT or something like that. And I'm sorry for my friends out there that work for TxDOT. I know a few people that do.
I use the roads and
get over here.
I know a number of people that work for the city and work on traffic and stuff like that, and they're just like under mountains of bureaucracy. Like we're always like, why aren't you fixing this? They're like, I bring things up at meetings, and then they just get tamped down. Like,
yeah,
it's just a bunch of people fighting back and forth because they all have different reasons for wanting one thing to work or not wanting the other thing, and who knows who's getting kickbacks from the construction companies and all that.
Yeah, true.
People aren't, and in the larger sense of this election, we don't have people who are representatives anymore. We don't have people that actually care about what the actual constituents of the city want. They just have their own personal interests, and they're working towards those. And I think that's why there's crazy things like a $725 million. Like, somebody's getting that money.
Right.
That money's going somewhere. And that guy's been glad handing for a long time and shaking hands and kissing babies. And
it's interesting to me because one of the big topics this whole election has, of course, been the friggin' email scandal.
Right.
With Hillary's server and everything else. Now, I know you're deep scientia. I'm not even going into it.
I'm about to pass out.
But
what you got?
Spit it. I got where I was.
Yeah.
The email. You were talking about
no representation. No, everyone's working for themselves.
Everyone's working for themselves.
Politicians taking money when they should be spending on other things.
Thank you. There is no actual hard and fast rule or server in either the Congress or House for emails. And doesn't that just surprise you? The dudes that actually write the laws, the dudes who actually, talk to lobbyists and everything else, you'd think that these emails would be the ones that we'd want to have it. And not that state secrets aren't important too, stuff like that. But really, whenever you're talking about collusion between people to get laws passed, money changing hands, when there isn't a secure server that email goes through, when that senator literally hits delete at their desk,
there should be a copy hidden somewhere.
It's gone. It's literally gone. But it's not sitting resident in a congressional server. It's not sitting resident in a server for the House of Representatives. It's literally just like your Gmail. It's poof.
That doesn't even make sense.
It's gone. And that to me is like, where's the accountability there? How do we know what kind of backroom deals, like you were saying, how do we know what local representatives are friends with certain contractors and try to get their stuff pushed through? How many times do we hear about stuff like that? I mean, heck, one of the things that I find Obama that he did horribly was actually putting in the former legal counsel of Monsanto as head of the legal counsel for the FDA.
Oh, Jesus. Conflict of interest? Can we say that?
That's a slight conflict of interest. When that's the dude that writes the Monsanto legislation and regulation act.
What the...
But that's how you get those jobs. With the back dealing and all that.
It is. But and this kind of stuff happens all the time.
We've got NSA, man, that knows like everything up my nose and everything through my bunghole. And they're not saving emails.
Well, NSA aside, like I said, it's not about any emails that were intercepted. Ben Swan put out a very interesting video
Guaranteed
a week or so ago, and he's all over the place. I love Ben Swan. He really shows truth in his reporting, but one of the points he brought up about the email scandal was, 17 agencies are saying that Russia made the hack. Shouldn't the question be, is what's in the emails true?
Right.
It's kind of like not who made the hack.
It doesn't matter.
But is what's in the email.
It doesn't matter who squealed on you.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Is it true? Is the question. And none of it's been proven to be anything of any consequence.
I totally agree on that.
As far as
the
FBI,
even Russia people and the people of Russia, despite their opinions and beliefs, are human beings just like we are.
Sure.
So we got to treat them the same as like we're over here trying to say so and so needs rights, so and so we need rights, and this and that. Well, they're the same as those type of groups too. Everybody's human beings. So it seems like we point a lot of fingers at Russia. Russia did this. Russia did that. Oh, Russia. And it's like we got that line drawn deep with Russia, and it's building up that Iron Curtain again. And it's a bunch of BS. I think that we need to step back and recognize,
Well, I definitely think that we need to make sure that whoever's president has a good open line of communication with everybody. Well, you can laugh at it for Trump's sake, or you can laugh at it for Hillary's sake. There was quite a bit of uranium that was sold on our behalf to Russia through Hillary. So
I don't give a fuck about no fucking emails, man. That wasn't.
I don't give a damn.
That wasn't no damn scandal. It became a scandal when it came time to run for politics.
There he is.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm sitting here thinking about how this night is playing out.
Grab me one out of there, please.
You know what I'm saying?
This pisses me off.
And it's just like people. First of all, it kills me when people try to act like, and this is just in general, people try to act like they know more than what the FBI saw. When the FBI came back twice and said there were no charges being brought against her, it just kills me to see people online constantly arguing about it as if you work for the FBI. Now, of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion about it, but at the same time, just because, and this is just like I said in general, if something doesn't go the way you want it to, doesn't mean that there's automatically something underlining that we're not seeing. Everything's not the X-Files. Everything's not a James Bond film.
No.
What's getting to the point is that, and this would have been for Hillary, her coming in, there was a good chance she was not going to have an entire branch of the government. If Trump comes in, it's looking like he's going to have every branch of the government. He's going to have the Supreme Court on his side, because he probably have to pick at least 2 or 3 of them, because they're all old as shit. And he's about to have the entire legislative branch of the government. So, going back to Chris's point, if the president has 10 jobs, the president still is looked at as a leader amongst his party. So if the Republicans run everything, you're about to have a situation where every idea they've ever wanted to do is about to happen. There might be a good chance gay marriage might be gone. Might be a good chance abortions might be legal again.
Good chance.
So, not to say that he'll come in there and fuck shit up, even though the stock market is tumbling right now because they're scared he's about to win.
I wouldn't say that we're going to be taking some drastic steps backward like that. I really wouldn't.
So.
I wouldn't.
I would. I mean, I can't.
I mean, did he or did he not say that he would definitely repeal gay marriage? I feel like he said that.
Yeah, he
that's not. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. He can't do anything about that.
He thinks that we're literally out here.
But see, he can't. He can't because if he gets to pick Supreme Court justices, and then somebody in the states sues for gay marriage, then the Supreme Court can still sway it that direction. The reason why gay marriage is legal now is because the Supreme Court voted 50.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Those justices are still approved by Congress.
A Congress that he will be running. It will be Republican.
Possibly.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have
we don't know that.
He's going to have 2 branches of. Right now, they've already saying that the Senate and the Congress is going to be a Republican. So he's going to have all branches of government all in his direction. The last time we had that was under Bush, who was allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted to for 8 years.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
So that's why I'm just, it's kind of like I don't think people fully comprehended what they're about to let happen if Trump wins, because at least with Obama. Nobody's saying Obama's perfect. I never said that. But Obama always he was a prime example of what checks and balances look like. The Republicans did everything they can to make sure that certain legislation he wanted didn't get through. Trump is going to, though, to be fair, let me be fair. I think Trump, in his hubris and narcissism, is going to get in there and think that every idea he has is good. And Republicans try to say, we know we had these own ideas. Trump might be like, you know what, fuck your ideas. This is what I want to do.
No,
you can't tell me it's different because I'm fucking president.
Trump straight up thinks it's House of Cards for real.
Yeah, I can definitely see Trump getting it.
Trump's like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen when you're on my side.
Believe me, if he wins and Hillary ends up run over by a train, look for the footage.
Trump is going to be the guy.
Spoiler alerts, by the way.
Trump is so petty. He'll be the guy at the State of the Union saying he'll have a list of senators, politicians who didn't vote for what he wanted, and say these people right here, and he's gonna point to each one of them and say these people right here are not on my side. So next time they run against them,
wait a minute though. You can't say any less that Hillary Clinton doesn't have her enemies list, that she hadn't had her enemies list, that there hadn't been an enemies list since Bill was in office.
I mean, it's politics, so everybody has
Everybody has their enemies.
When you're dealing with a guy who always looks at himself as being the winner and everybody else the bad guy, there's nothing that's going to... you can say what you want about Hillary, which it might be true, there might be a list, but Hillary's not going to be dumb enough to get on national TV and say, I hate all these people. I don't like him. Trump will. If Trump has no problem pointing out people in the media that don't like him, he'll have no problem doing to a politician. He'll say, every one of you that don't stand up when I speak, all of y'all, I'll make sure all of y'all don't win next time.
Yeah.
I can literally see Trump using every veto that he possibly can. Line item, pocket veto. I can see him doing it all. I think George W. had, at the end of it, I think he totally had 30 vetoes, which was like the most any
that.
president had ever had. I can see Trump going way past 30. Way past 30.
Yeah, because Trump's not going to veto because he feels it's a moral obligation, because he feels like the law could be better. He's going to veto it just because he don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's not what I want to do.
Who wrote that again? Nope, not doing it.
Yeah,
I told his ass last time I didn't like him.
No good.
No.
I can definitely see that. You're fired.
It's really about to be, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. It's leaning. There a lot of these polls and news sites I've been reading as y'all been talking are starting to lean towards Trump. They're trying to say he has a great chance of winning.
And we said it before. We said it on the show you were on, Tia. We said it on the show that you guys were on, where the fact is, he had, despite any tabloid sensation, despite any sensationalism to which he came to the gate, the fact is now he has become a viable candidate. He has become somebody who is, right now, we are actively sitting here watching.
Yeah, which is completely
this is happening.
And utterly depressing. If you haven't noticed,
I'm
about ready to go.
I've said it for the longest time. Quite honestly, on both sides of the fence. On both sides of the fence. I'm not going to say that Hillary's the best candidate. You can't say that Hillary, here's a woman who's literally spent the last almost 30 years embroiled in controversy.
But you can't compare the two, though.
From getting kicked off the Watergate Commission as an intern to the Whitewater scandal there are so many different controversies that she's been a part of during her time. The question is, was she truly the best female candidate for the position? Is what I'm putting forth. Did both parties actually pick the best candidate, or is it the fact of after the first black president, it's utterly logical and very easy to put forth the first female president?
I'm
for that to be the next logical step.
I've thought that before.
I've met T had this conversation many times. I said I give Republicans credit because they really, really painted Hillary Clinton to be a fucking James Bond villain. And they did
a great job of it.
They pushed that narrative for so long.
She's in the Casino Royale.
When they
Mission Impossible.
She's dressed like Dr. No.
I know. First call number 2.
She's number 2.
She's number 2, and they imagine
number 2. She looks
and Obama is number 1.
She looks like Dr. Evil. It looks like Dr. Evil.
You can make the argument. Hairless cat. It's funny because you can make the argument that she represents establishment politics, but to make the argument that she's the face of it is almost utterly insane. Because what it is, once again, is that once again Trump ran on the whole I'm the outsider, and she represents everything that's wrong with Washington,
right?
And it diluted whatever message she tried to get across, that I might not be perfect, but I understand how things work and I understand how things can get done, as opposed to a guy who just is saying what you want to hear to get in there. And but what it is, the American people and the human minds think of, if you say something enough, you start thinking it's true. So if I say crooked Hillary over and over and over and over and over again, or emails, you start thinking, holy shit, maybe she's not trustworthy.
I made that point to Amy tonight, where she noticed on the radio, she was like, why do they keep referring to him as Mr. Trump and her as Hillary?
Yeah.
Him as Mr. Trump, her as Hillary. And I was like, she was like, I think it's sexist. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. It is to literally personalize them. The one issue that Hillary has is she seems impersonal. She seems cold. She seems distant.
Right.
So to call her Hillary instead of Mrs. Clinton personalizes.
Well, once again,
it literally it shows the twist of the media. It shows a lot of the guiding, the sub psychological stuff that goes on.
Well, like Chris said, she's coming behind somebody like Obama, who's a great speaker. People look at him as personable. Mm-hmm. People like him because they thought he was funny as his humor. As opposed to somebody like Hillary, who her own team has said she sucks at speeches. She's very cold. Hillary has the mentality of a person that looks like, I know I'm the smarter person. Why do I have to explain that to you? I know I'm right. I have to explain to you I'm right.
Not even that. She, to me, is more so somebody who's in the background. She's not a speaker.
Even Joe Biden came out and said she needs to. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know that Biden should have ran.
The gangster. I don't know. I still stand by the idea that calling her Hillary and calling him Trump is misogynist, because it's like all the men who are like, oh, this girl can't do it. This poor little girl. It's like when you call a woman a girl. It just pisses me off. I don't like them calling her by her first name. Have some goddamn respect. If nothing else, call her Secretary of State Clinton. Like, come on. This is not her first day. This is not like she just showed up and we never met her before.
People Trump, one of Trump's argument was that she's been doing politics for 30 years and she's been around this long. I'm like, bro, she hasn't been president 30 years.
Because if you let him tell she's been the president of the United States.
She has been the
she
president.
Has all the power.
Like, do you blame Michelle for everything Obama does? Like, you don't equate what Obama's policies to what Michelle is telling him. But as soon as Hillary runs, it's, oh, well, shit, everything bad Bill did, Hillary's right behind. Like, that's his wife. What you think she's going to say? Like, fuck that, Bill's wrong? Like, she has no choice. Me and Fresh watched the HBO movie called All In by LBJ during the Civil Rights Movement. And there was a point in time when Lady Bird came in and tried to give him a sandwich. He cussed out and said, God damn it, Lady Bird, just leave. And she went, God damn it, Lady Bird, just leave me alone. I just need a minute alone. And she ran to the bathroom. Headache.
They call her Lady Bird. What the
hell? She ran in the bathroom and was crying, and one of LBJ's aides was trying to comfort her. And, she said, through all the women in the scandals, I understand my place next to him. None of them will ever be surpassed me. So, I don't think people understand that when people always try to equate Hillary to Bill's misconceptions. She's the first lady. She's the most powerful woman in the world.
And one of my friends,
you can't say that. Oh well, because Bill fucked up, that Hillary did too. What was she supposed to do?
One of my friends, Kim Washington, made a very cogent point in Houston recently, and she literally turned to me when she said it, and she was like, "If your wife did that, until proven otherwise, would you not defend her?"
Right.
It's true.
And that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. I would defend Amy to the death.
Yeah.
Until somebody in a court of law proved otherwise.
Anything.
Once
you're married,
that is my wife.
And you have a team aspect to the way you
now,
live your life.
I have to interject because Go ahead. Hey, shut the hell up. I thought I made a point. I thought I was getting back on TV. I thought it was Odell in Austin. No, but Bill does defend her. It's just nobody covers his damn speech. Oh, yeah. Because you know why? I don't like Bill, but Bill rambles like an old ass man when he does his speech.
I don't even think he knows where he's at half the time.
Like, a real old man leaning on the stage like, you got just listening. I'm Bill.
He's an old ass country man.
He defends her, and then in the next sentence goes, Obamacare is one of the worst disasters that's ever happened in our country. This is horrifying. It's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Who got that meeting on that day? Against half her platform.
I think Hillary's campaign is more, they have the opinion that, you know what, we'll let Bill talk, but we don't want anybody to talk about it.
I want to know when the saxophone's coming back.
Never. It's going to be killed. She loses.
No. I better see saxophone all the time.
It's going to be great.
I like energy, so I'm not.
Well, back in the day when there was all that Jennifer Flowers type shit and stuff,
skills.
It was totally Hillary was like stand by her man, Well, and all that, talking about what y'all were talking about, going back on that, like a little bit further back, than just recent stuff, but despite that Bill was wrong and Bill was guilty probably, and he was, I think, proven on Monica's thing.
It was definitely.
She still stood by.
He was guilty.
If I've ever heard a story about Bill Clinton, it's usually about how he's so smooth, how he was so charismatic, how he was like the kind of guy that ladies would just go, "Oh, Bill."
Yeah.
So back in the day,
he was a player.
He was all about it.
But Hillary stuck by him, and she even made a comment. She goes, "I want people to know that I'm not like Tammy Wynette." Yeah, she was on camera doing that, saying that.
Well, and
I'd say that too.
And it's like, well, I don't know. You are doing what maybe the song is saying, kind of. You're standing by your man. I mean, we know he's guilty of sin.
See, even my cat's upset about
it. Well, and the fact is, you do stand by your husband. Right. You do stand by your wife. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
All of that, and the whole bringing up of any of it in this election. That's what got me. And Tia brought it up when she was on the show previously, and it was right after the first debate. The fact of they addressed nothing. There was no addressing of anything.
They didn't answer any questions.
Yeah, they didn't answer any questions. All they did was say, yes, we're having problems with this in America.
Yeah.
No shit, really.
Right. Yeah, but
Thanks for acknowledging that.
But
what's
the
your
king
resolution?
of that has to be Donald Trump. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, the man knows how to twist it and turn it. And
I'll tell you my answer. My answer is this. My
Go
answer
ahead.
is so good. Everybody's going to listen to my answer. Everybody's going to love my answer.
Yeah.
Emails.
You a man just had
emails.
The end. Emails.
Emails.
Nice.
I mean, he's a man who's had decades of media training. Oh, you got Florida?
Did he just win Florida?
Are you fucking serious?
That's what it's saying.
He is on 29 electoral
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's all red.
It is very much an unknown who's going to be the next president. Right now, we want to turn over our look at the presidential election to Fox
Let's
News
catch up
and
some stuff here.
CNBC.
Let's catch up.
It's like, are we
Let's bring it back around. Let's bring it back around. Did we not just see Trump get Florida?
Oh, God, and it goes to commercial.
And I can...
With a rainy-ass Austin. And I gotta say, guys, thank y'all so much for braving the friggin' torrent to come out tonight.
Yeah, you guys
I thought
are
about that
troopers.
about halfway home. I was like, oh, my God. Because we were coming from the 183 area from the doctor, finding out about little baby Jordan. Which, official announcement on air.
God always gives you sugar to go with your
That's right. He gave us a whole lot of sugar to go with this.
You never heard that saying?
No. And that's why...
He always give you something good.
You know what you gotta name it, right?
So life is savory instead of bitter, you see?
Jody.
Nah, it's so I can grow the next revolution.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's angry. He's been flipping all day, and he's very upset about this.
You feel him already? You feel him already flipping?
We did see him in the picture. His little 3-inch self. But
3 inches.
But literally, that way she was like, should we post it? Should we talk about it? And I was like, you know what? I think absolutely we should post about this right now.
My silence
because this may be some of the only good news anybody on either side of the fence gets
today
for a couple few days, dude.
Pretty true, and a bunch of people were like, thanks, I was feeling real sad.
Right?
Yeah.
I started like, congratulations.
Yeah. No, and thank you, Tia. You were the first one to tell us.
Yeah,
you were the first one to say that. So, and we're inordinately happy, but it is one of those like, oh, good God, what's happening? What's going on? What are we looking at for the future? And it's interesting to see both sides of the fence.
Well,
because
you got another little guy that you're gonna have to teach all this stuff to. That's what
yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. Some of the deprogramming that goes on when they come after indoctrinated school.
If he does win, we just have to see.
Okay, son. So I understand the Hessian education system that they're teaching you at school. However,
hilarious.
However,
right.
When Jack is his pregnant wife.
Yeah,
burn the books, reprogram history through the internet.
But we're. I understand, Kat. Yes, my cat really wants to go outside, and she can't because it's raining.
Oh,
and instead of being a
I
cat,
thought it was because she knew Trump was the lead or something.
Yeah.
That too. She's also very
Keep
smart.
me away from the
political
TV.
thing. She's got her own iPhone over there. Just
looking.
she's watching on the feed.
She's got her own thing kicking.
Florida.
Yeah. So.
Now, what are really the possibilities? If Trump won Florida, how much of that signs him to the presidency? Like, seriously?
Well, like they've been saying, no president has ever. There has not been a president since 1934 that hasn't won Florida.
Oh hell!
Well,
that was me being depressed. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying. I was looking at the updates and everything.
Yeah,
they call California for, and they gave him Florida. So now she's down 190 to 201.
I saw some.
Did you say that they called California for him?
No, for Hillary. No, they called for him. It's over.
Oh yeah, I was like, no. He's not getting California.
They're calling California.
Yeah, they called for him.
Yeah,
it's such a wide margin. There's no way he's California. Yeah, California.
Yeah, that was a huge.
Oh yeah.
But it was a battleground.
Yeah, there's no doubt there.
15202.
This is definitely money.
Yeah. You know, I would have loved to have done this show live from Vegas tonight.
I know!
It would have been interesting to, because you know they're coming.
I want everything. I told you he was going to win.
I'm rich, bitch! So, do you think? Let's hear it from everybody. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it roundabout.
Do you think that David Chappelle will actually be doing Saturday Night Live this Saturday?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, is he?
I
want to see that.
Yeah, instead of Dave Chappelle is doing it, is hosting it.
I did not know Saturday Night Live this Saturday.
Yeah.
With the Roots.
I feel like
Or Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, I gotta see this.
Quest is a whole lot more likely because they're about to release a new album. But
Nice.
Dave Chappelle, that seems kind of crazy.
He's on the album.
He's announced it.
That's why.
I think he'll do it.
You know, he never quit Chappelle's show. He just said he left for 7 years. He never quit.
It was just all up in the air.
Yeah, just 7 years hiatus.
That's all it was.
Yeah, 7 years
vacation.
He just talked about being Illuminati and suddenly had no more gigs.
I'll see you later, maybe in 7 years or something. Like, we kicked it for a while.
Fresh heard that one.
I didn't get to hear that. Hear that on the replay. I'm over here running my mouth and looking at Trump.
So they come down to Michigan.
It's gonna be crazy.
These numbers, I cannot. Oh, this is insane.
Is Ohio someone yet?
Ohio, I think they gave that to him.
They gave Ohio to Trump.
Yeah.
Are these actual states that won? Or
Yeah, are these states won?
Yeah, the ones they called.
These are actual confirmed.
Yes,
done.
Yeah.
He's got 4 cards and 1 to go. And if he gets it, he's the president of the United States.
Which state?
Oh God, dude. This is. Oh my sweet baby Jesus! This is
what the hell's going on here?
It's 202 to 216 on electoral votes, folks, and it's 270 to win.
Oh my Lord!
I mean, granted that's still a large margin for both of them. That's still 50 plus for both of them.
Yeah.
Still 50 plus for both of them.
Yeah, right.
You know what?
But
though?
that is tantalizing and incredible this early in the game.
If Trump wins,
Quite honestly.
there should be a revolution.
Like
There should be an uprising, and you know what? There won't be.
He called that already.
There won't be at all.
Oh, yeah, Trump called
There are so many people
already.
that will be wronged by
On his
him, and
Twitter.
they will just sit and take it, and that's the trouble. That's the trouble.
If he don't get his way, it's gonna be hell. And then, like, I don't know what Hillary's gonna do. I'm sure she's gonna sue too. But
if we're all convinced that nothing we do matters,
recounting is all an issue.
Well, and that's just it. That's what we have to figure out. That's what we as a country have to figure out. And that's what we talked about in our episode, Tia. That's what we talked about in episodes with these guys before. And that's what we talked about in the episode with Kevin McDonald. We really have to reach across the table. We really do have to find a common ground in this country to come to in some way for everybody to have the discussion, because the discord that is happening in our country and our families and everything over this, and we'll get into that in this upcoming next segment. But right now, that's it for segment 2 of the official 2000. And the next one, we will know the winner.
I'll be back.
The next one, we will know the winner.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Right.
Stay tuned. Dude, I'll be right over, dude. We'll talk about this. And we had to take a bunch of drugs before he said, "Hey, man, I'm gay," you know. And I'm like, dude, you fucking picked me up all night, gave me all these fucking pills just to tell me you're gay. I'm like, oh, I was mad at him just because of that. I'm like, that's whatever. That's nothing. But it was something to him. But you know what I mean? It's nothing to me. It was like, okay, it must have meant a lot to you, but to me, like, I wish you could have told me easier than that. Because I had to miss a day of work, and you had to drug me up, and we had to drink beer, and we had to do all this stuff, and he ended up dying. He fell off a cliff. But and he was my best friend in high school. He was my best friend.
My first ever boyfriend is a gay man, and I remember we ended up like breaking up because we were like, oh, we're just friends. There's no reason for us to date. But I remember when he came out to me, it was a huge deal for him.
Yeah.
He was real afraid of what I was going to say, even though I would consider myself a significantly progressive kind of person. And also, like, I'm fine with whoever. Do what you want, man.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm fine.
Right.
You know, love who you want, be who you want.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm down with whatever. But, you know, everybody's journey is different. And you got to be sensitive to the way people react to everything. And even with reference to the conversation we were having, like, some people react to this kind of stuff in a sad way. Some people react in an angry way.
Right.
Some people react in a proactive way.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, who knows what people will take. If Trump becomes president, who knows how many people will become activists? Who knows how many people will just drink themselves to death? Who knows who will actually have a revolution and, like, burn places down? Everybody reacts to stuff differently, so you just don't know. And you gotta just be okay with everybody's means of dealing with it, and it's wild.
I would like to see the lines.
The sheriff from Arizona. The racist sheriff.
Lines not be lines, and then be more of just that we're human beings, and the rights of all should be for them. And
yeah, but unfortunately, with when you see this, when you see that how many states are red, it means that that's the amount of people still in this country who don't think that, who want to draw the lines, who want to say these are the ways that we're different.
As long as we
and
draw
we need
lines,
to stay
we're not
going to
go any further.
It's fucking ridiculous. It has nothing to do with anything at all.
Right.
It's like get your meat suit, relax.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've never.
It's like I've had so many people at work. They're like, "Oh, you're a Trump supporter." You're. They either look at me or how I talk or something, and it's like, dude, not necessarily.
When I was a little kid, I told my mom that I had figured out racism, and she said, "What? What is it?" And I said, "It's people who are jealous that somebody can get a better tan than them." And I was like 7, and I thought, if everyone could just be okay.
That explains my disdain for you, Aaron, as a redhead.
Just figure and be happy.
As a redhead.
So I can only get a few tiny little spots. That's all right.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's all right.
I've said for years, with enough sunlight, all these freckles will grow together to a nice tan. One day.
Dude.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I mean, that's a hard thing to really explain. Like, I work with kids.
Yeah.
Like in the summertime, like
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And most of them are Hispanic kids, so like they put on sunblock. And we go outside in the summer. And then they look at me and they're like, Mr. Aaron, you need to put on sunblock. And I was like,
I think I'm gonna be alright.
I'm fine. And it was
You
like,
need to put on sunblock.
I've never put on sunblock.
Really?
But it still hurts your skin. I don't care whether or not it's
You
going to
never
change
had-
your color.
I've never put on sunblock. Never been
Yeah, but
sunblock.
you're young, aren't you? You got, I mean, you got to.
I like how that.
Well, like they say it. They'll say it, and I'm like, no.
Hey, I'm
good. I've never been somewhere. What? You need to put it on.
Someone's saying in a relative way.
I think I'll be okay.
Hey.
No, you need to put. Everybody needs to put on something. Like I was like, everybody kind of doesn't need to put on something.
I'll tell you this, Fresh. I'm a redhead, and you know what? You can ask my wife.
He'll burn like a
even when we went on our honeymoon, how much sunblock did I wear?
He doesn't wear sunblock.
I don't wear a whole lot of sunblock.
What?
And I'm a redhead.
Take your ass to South Padre, you'll burn.
No, I'm talking about going down to like Cozumel, Cancun.
Seriously?
You know, yeah.
And you don't burn?
I burn.
Just not smart.
I burn. It's gonna reach a point, and I'm okay, and I'll be hot for a day or so, and it's all right.
But not
and
to
it
work
goes
like
away.
you're like fucking
Oh no!
I really still
no,
feel like
when I was a
not
kid,
like there's a thing
when I was a kid,
it's
I
not
would
like
I would
the
look like a
melanin thing,
Gila
but-
monkey.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
aware of it.
I had blisters all over.
It never comes up.
That's why I'm like, you're young, baby.
I worked outside in the sun for years and stuff like that.
I've worn it a few times.
I got some. Yeah,
I've never heard of the transition.
Yeah, it's
I look at
it's either do this or
I've never
that.
been
no, it's
sunburned.
called natural resilience,
So I don't
and it's
need
called
it.
building an immunity.
Oh shit! I guess that's what happened. Fucking A, dude.
It's just like
again.
Yeah.
It's just like my allergies. It's just like my allergies. I took 2 allergy shots every week since I was like in elementary through senior high school, and I don't take allergy shots anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have to.
Right.
Like, I spent enough time out in the sun and doing what I was doing and working out in the sun without sunblock on that, I'll burn. And the first day...
I guess that's what it is.
The first day or so, I'll catch a sunburn and I'll be hot and it'll be okay. But then once that's gone, I'll be fine.
I'll tell you what, if I fall asleep on the beach, I'll be fucked.
And I'm quite honestly much better doing that and being uncomfortable for a day or two during my 7-day long vacation than putting a whole lot of chemicals on my body that for some reason my family didn't use years ago, and they didn't have skin cancer. They literally worked out in fields. Like, that's what they did.
Yeah, but they died at 40.
No, they didn't die at 40.
grandma
My grandfather had his first heart attack at 28, but he didn't die at 40. He died at 50.
They were poor ass wives fucking
28.
He was a hardworking man. But not a single one of them ever had skin cancer or melanoma or anything like that. And they worked out in the fields all the time.
Like I was saying to Amy, I don't know, growing up, I've never had a sunburn, so I always looked at it as I really don't need it. And sunblock was never anything that was just in the house. We had lotion, but we didn't have suntan lotion or sunblock. So it was just something that I never looked at.
There's a little bit of difference there.
It was never something that I just looked at as it was a necessity for me to have. And so when I think maybe middle school, they started talking about it, and I went to a predominantly Hispanic and Black middle school, so we all were sitting there like, sunblock. We all really looked at each other and asked like, what is it? And like, what do we really need to wear it for? Because most of us had never experienced being sunburned or anybody telling us that when we go outside, we need to have on sunblock. So it just never registered me. Now my mother gets sunburned. She's very fair skinned. She gets sunburned and she wears sunblock and all of that. But me nor my brother never worn it. Now I don't know if my brother's ever been sunburned, but I've never had to witness or I've never been sunburned ever in life. So I just looked at it. This is like, I guess it's true. Black people don't need suntan lotion. So I just never wore it. And like I said, had it been in the house, I probably would have used it. But had it just was never there, I just looked at it as it just was nothing that I needed to have.
I had heard people saying that, and I always thought they were being racist. Like I'd heard people be like, black people don't need to use that, and I was like, you can't say that. They can do whatever they want.
And that's why I brought up the point, like, because you were saying when you were a kid, you told your mother you figured out racism, and when I work with kids and when dealing with those issues, it's really hard to explain without saying something that they just coming out to them straight. That's just racist because everything to them is racist. If you laugh at them and they don't like it, it's automatically being like, it was 2 kids.
What age do you work with?
I work with 1st through 5th grade. So
because
6 to 11.
For a long time, I taught 4, 5, and 6-year-olds during the day. Then I taught junior high and high school in the evening a couple times a week. And I can't say that was necessarily the case, especially in the 4, 5, and 6-year-old range. I found the fact that they were typically null to that point.
Right.
They didn't really see that barrier. They didn't really see that difference between them.
I think with children, for the most part, they are null to it. It doesn't really matter to them until they are shown that racism exists, and this is actually. I think I'll take myself for example. I tell everybody I grew up in a very overtly racist household. I remember one Christmas I got a Cordell Stewart Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, and I opened it, and at the time Cordell Stewart was my favorite football player. I was super excited that it was a Cordell Stewart jersey.
Sure.
And I was excited. I opened it. I was like, man, I couldn't believe my mother bought this. I didn't ask for this for Christmas. This wasn't on my Christmas list. How she know who Cordell Stewart was? And she stopped me in my excitement and asked me, wait, is he black? Because if he's not black, we're taking it back. Because you're not going to be wearing a white man on your jersey. And everybody in the room had to tell her, no, Stewart is a black quarterback who plays and starts.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. We was taking it back if he was white. And so it never had my mother and grandmother never expressed any racial dissension to the other race. We probably would have never known about it. Yeah. So with kids, when I'm at work, I think they really only react the way that they react because they see their parent or somebody in their life that they see every day react that way. So when they see something they don't like, they just automatically react that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think sometimes the kids don't acknowledge sort of things like that are cynical in the world. Whereas my mom pointed it out to us and told us not to do it. Like, she told us things happened and that she was like, that's not something you want to do. But I wouldn't have thought of it until she mentioned it.
Sorry.
And then I was like, oh, okay. And I became crazy sensitive about it because she was always harping on it. But I think her parents were crazy racist. And she was like, I'm not doing that. That's not the kind of family I want to have. But the problem is I think I was too young sometimes to acknowledge that idea.
I don't think my mother and grandmother and the rest of my family members realized that we were actually paying attention to what they were saying and doing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times when it happened, we laughed and brushed it off and was like, that's just
a lot of parents are
that's just Granny being Granny. Granny gonna say whatever she wants to say, whoever she wants to say when she wants to say it. And we laughed at it, so I think they looked at it as we just literally thought it was just funny. But no, we realized somewhere down the line, grandmother's rather racist.
Yeah.
She's pretty much just a racist. She's a bigot, and she has no issue with it. And she really does. She'll tell you that she's racist, and she doesn't see anything wrong with it.
And she was
you look at her, you're like, she probably shouldn't say that out loud. But at this point, she's about to be 75, so you look at it like, she's 75. She's not going to really.
And for she was
your
biological.
Life, so.
She was biological, right?
Yeah.
But she was just kind of racist a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean.
Well, and that is definitely an older generation. There is a generational gap, and that's something that John Bound and I have brought up before on the show. Is the fact that I guess I was when I was in elementary school, when I was in school, was really right after it was the early 80s. You know, everybody was everybody. It was a Coke generation. We all held hands around the world, and that's what it was about. You know, we are the world, we are the children. You know, we're all together in this thing. I've got it on LP, and
don't act like you're better.
But you know, and even my father is one that I have to deal with because. He a lot of the things that he just says, and he doesn't mean it. It's very Trump-esque. You know, it's just it's how he is.
But that's the point. But the point is,
the problem is
Trump-esque is exactly right.
Yeah.
Look at that map and how red that it is.
Yeah.
And the things that we're talking about right now, when we say things about our family members that are old, and we say that's just the way they are. No. It's unacceptable, and every
doesn't
single
make
one
it of
right.
us, it doesn't make it right.
Not that many old
Which
people.
is the phrase that plays in my family.
That's right.
Like you can't. If the people in America are consciously telling us directly that they are racist, it is our job to say fuck no. That is not right. You can't do this. It's ridiculous. And individually, person to person.
Well, that assumes,
that. And you can't just assume and say it's okay for whoever to do it. I'm sorry, it's not okay for your dad to do it. It's not okay for your grandmother to do it. It's not okay for anyone to do it.
It's not.
It's not. And no, it's unacceptable. I don't like it. Every time anyone says anything, I yell at them in their face. I've yelled at plenty of people and embarrassed you at plenty of events. Believe you me, there's some, good old boy that will be there and we'll go hang out with his father or whatever.
Tell me about the Illuminati, damn it.
And he'll say something crazy, and I'm I'm not some shy Southern belle. I'm from Boston. I'll tell you where to fucking put it.
Sounds like
so when I see these Southern men say these things, I just yell at them to their face, and they're like, "What is this woman doing, telling me what she thinks?" Like,
and
literally,
they do,
they look at me, and I'm like, "You need to listen to some shit. This is what needs to happen."
It's ridiculous. and what you were saying earlier about being an ally, you're absolutely right. If this is the world that we live in, then forevermore, my effort is to make everybody stop. You can't. It's ridiculous. Why draw the lines? Why focus on the stupidest thing about being different? We're all fucking the same. Right. And we are all in this crazy country that told us we could have, houses and fancy shit, and we can't. And
No.
Nah.
Don't make it. No. Don't make it like any social contract signed by any founding father or person since then has promised you any of that.
Right.
The media has promised you that. Music has promised you that. Movies have promised you that. Right. Those things have promised you that.
Yeah, it's a cultural decision that America has to be that way.
Exactly. And the fact is, it's not a foregone conclusion. It's a conclusion of hard work. And to perpetuate the idea that there is the American dream and that everybody
don't come easy.
Everybody equally equivalates the American dream to begin with is wrong. It's wrong because that means that we all start off on equal footing to begin with. That means we all have the same set of skills to begin with.
Skills and has nothing to do with it. It is 100% luck or just sheer
No, most of it's sheer force of will.
No, it's
not.
not.
50 Cent.
I think number one, money rules. Then they keep the rest of us divided by a racial deal, which ain't even a racial deal, but it's more of a money deal. And they stand above us as we fight each other, and it's not even really that. That's what I think.
Confucius has been silent for a long time. Go ahead, Confucius.
I'm halfway.
Well, I wanted to read a tweet, a very interesting.
Go ahead.
From International, who is
absolutely RDG, straight up.
So he says, "Quit talking like it's over. The Cubs came back from 3-1 to beat."
That's right. That's right.
Nice. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true. That just was fun.
The man preaches truth. Everybody, and if you look at social media, everybody was calling that game. Everybody was
I called it. I even tweeted that the Cleveland Indians will win the World Series.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
I called it.
I saw it.
I really thought they were going to win. At 3-1, I thought there was no way the Cubs were going to come
since you're a
back.
baseball fan, and the question is, what inning are we in?
Okay, right now we're in the 7th.
Yeah,
we're in the 7th.
Bottom of the 7th right now. Going
we're in the 7th.
Are you sure? Because I already told you, if he wins Michigan, that's 16
electoral
votes.
Bottom of the 9th.
We're nowhere near the 9th. We aren't even near that. There's a good 2 innings left.
If he wins Michigan, it's basically over.
It's over if he wins Michigan.
He had 250. If Fox's news is accurate and he had 254,
right. See, that's the
and
thing.
Michigan
is
comes
so
in, that's 16 delegates.
Why do we have 4 different medias that we can't trust? Which one is the real one that we have to?
Because every one of them takes money from the federal government. That's why you can't trust them.
Yeah, and that's the whole point that I'm trying to make is that we can't trust one. We should put one channel on that makes the. No, they all got different decisions, or they all got different. It's like, okay, then what do we believe?
Damn,
this is crazy.
And that makes it. Exactly.
That is pretty tasty over there, Fresh. What are you drinking?
That is Paul Masson Peach Grande Amber. It is a brand.
All right. Ooh, I appreciate that.
That was brought to you all by Tia Williams.
Oh, thank you, Miss Tia.
She donated to the cause.
Is that what you're enjoying with your Coke over there?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a shot of it. I tell you what, I'll have a shot of my vodka.
Nice.
Have a shot of that.
I used to be in my younger days
because
This election, I need some more alcohol for this election because when this fucker hits the end, I'm gonna be
It's funny because I was telling T outside, like,
Well, let's see what they're saying because it's interesting here. They're saying that Clinton is actually projected to win Nevada.
Right.
Which is interesting to me that Clinton would win Nevada.
I keep seeing this. They played this like a goddamn for fucking ratings. Just tell me the one.
30 on the West Coast, half past midnight on the East Coast, and Fox News, as you may have just heard, Fox News projects Hillary Clinton wins the state of Nevada. Harry Reid brought out his big machine in and around Clark County.
Shouts out to Harry Reid.
Harry Reid.
Campaign. Harry Reid had lines and lines.
Oh, Harry Reid.
Yeah.
Clyde Bundy.
Yeah, the whole Clyde Bundy situation.
Clyde Bundy. Let me tell you.
I appreciate your optimism, Fresh, but I worry, and my worry is less about what's gonna happen in a larger political sense, and more how a win like this could marginalize even friends, like and separate people and make people feel like angry and crazy.
Well, and that's what's gotten me over this whole thing. Is exactly how divisive this election has been. This whole process, the whole election season.
NASDAQ is suspended trading.
What?
Seriously?
Somewhat.
Shit.
Somewhat.
Oh, look at Michigan.
Yo, bruh.
It dropped 500 and then stopped.
Yeah. It dropped 700 plus.
700.
When that was down, I saw the NASDAQ get dropped like 2.3.
Shit. Hold on.
But when it comes to money,
NASDAQ say fuck
Trump
this
name.
No. I gotta get a hold of my buddy who is a friggin' financial analyst.
Yeah,
we gotta get on this.
Grab him, dude. Grab
That's
him.
what this is about.
Do it.
Damn,
Do it. Get him on. Get him on. Get it, motherfucker.
You see what O tweeted?
What did he say?
Hope y'all rappers enjoy date night BBQs and dinner at the White House. That shit is a wrap after this.
You rappers ain't touching me. You touching me.
Won't get me a beer.
Unless you like Easy E, you just happen to donate
Same
to the
here,
campaign.
Steve-O.
Okay, I got you too. Dude, there's an Easy E record at Goodwill on South Lamar. I didn't buy it the other day, but I should have bought it. But it's just a single. But still, it's good shit. Should have bought it. I bought a bunch of other records.
Wow, look at that. Tied in New Hampshire.
That's crazy.
Tied in New
Not
Hampshire.
technically by the numbers, but by the percentages.
But by the percentage, yeah.
But Confucius, remember that one? That one that what is it? Oh fuck, the one I played. DJ. What was that one? Dude, that's my favorite one.
I don't know. DJ Fuck's the bomb.
No, not DJ Fuck. Yeah, but.
I think about this. I've never heard of DJ Fuck before.
My stage name was DJ Chowder
I can see his
It was the early
face. I can see
90s.
his
It was like Run
face.
DMC's like brother in school.
Oh, DJ. Why I want to say DJ Swift? It ain't DJ Swift. What the fuck is that? But
What kind of record was it? A breakbeat record?
He was on MTV. He was a VJ on MTV at one point. And I mean, he was like. At
They
the
did just
beginning
change
of
the aspect
hip-hop.
ratio. That's creepy.
And remember, I played it one night when we were like at the fucking studio. When y'all stopped by and did Dudes and Beer one night, and I brought a record in. DJ. Since then.
I don't think they were there, brother.
We may not have been there.
No, y'all were fucking.
They weren't there for that.
Confucius was there.
They weren't there for that.
Oh, don't even play games, man.
Yeah.
No. And my phone's dead, so that's.
It's 215, 254. Trump's numbers have not moved in a little while. Hillary's just gained 6, according to Fox News.
When y'all hear it, y'all be drooling everywhere, too.
Who's drooling? Is my cat drooling on you? He's drooling.
No, he's talking about whenever we hear the album.
Yeah, that
Oh, I
fucking
see.
album.
When DJ Fuck plays.
Yeah,
he's a good,
DJ Fuck plays.
He's a good dude.
DJ Fuck.
I like the cut shot to the creepy dude with the smile, though. That was all right. I don't know what Fox did with their feed, but they literally like condensed that shit down to some crazy ass resolution.
Now it's real small. I have to like put on my binoculars to read it. So far, tiny.
My shit. It's a firewire.
This guy's flummoxed.
This is one of the reasons why I'm glad I catch Fox well, because Confucius was like, I want to watch Fox, so they fucking lose it.
And it's funny because they're kind of like they're like the team before the win, kind of just like, let's just stay calm, let's just wait,
just keep it down, everybody.
I think Trump is gonna win.
I think he's gonna win. Steven's busted out the old people.
I think Trump's not gonna win. He's crazy as fuck.
Things are going so bad now that Steven's pulled out a puppet.
He's going to probably fucking win.
And now he's speaking to us through the voice of America in the puppet.
That's right.
I'm disturbed. I don't know what the rest of you.
That's kind of disturbing, bro.
I'm very thrown off.
That was creepily awesome.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna end it at creepy. I'm not gonna say.
Was that kind of like Sid Barrett kind of creepy?
I'm good with that.
Like good but creepy.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
So somebody tweeted, if Trump wins with no political experience, jobs better start hiring with no experience requirements as well, because this shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to be a CEO. No, I don't know what your company does, but I'd be good at it.
You can't be mad at me for grabbing anybody by the yin yang and...
By the yin yang.
Yeah.
I wish anyone called any part of anyone's body.
So yeah, the standard is going to be that. Huh?
Well, if the entire economy's already shut down.
Yeah.
They start telling you can't trade on Wall Street.
They're like, we're pulling out. We're back in this.
I'm going to get this money out of here.
Get this money out of here.
They all left just to start the pool on who's going to win.
This guy bankrupt Atlanta and bankrupt all these other places, Vegas and its university.
Oh god.
And then he writes books on the art of the deal.
He doesn't write books. Someone wrote a book.
That's like saying in the midst of all this shit that Hillary Clinton wrote a book.
About 245,
Hillary Clinton didn't write a book.
Exactly. It's like you write a book on like how to be good, but you were good.
Nobody else does.
What's that?
I was saying Fox is the only place I've seen.
Yeah, somebody like just tweeted it's 244, 215.
I remember nobody else says that.
Like, yeah, it's like, what are the other things saying?
Well, to play devil's advocate, if you're Fox News, you have to kind of jump the score because the people that are watching this are most likely rooting for Trump.
Perhaps.
So wouldn't that even tell you at that point that there's a bias going on? You know what I mean? If there's a channel or something that is bumping things up just because they favor some other, you know?
Oh, shit.
Here's PBS. We just switched over to PBS in the midst of it.
I believe that a little bit more than a lot of others.
And PBS
yes and no.
Trump 244, Hillary 215. I just did it myself. God, I'm sorry.
And you like my old man puppet? It was cool.
I'm down with the old man puppet. I like the old man puppet. It's dope.
That's really messed up, really. The old man puppet. I mean, I'm already
That's why I waited. That's why I waited.
I'm a cynical gal, but it's not going well.
It's not going well.
Puppet's
not going well.
Not to be the continuous bearer of bad news, but the Republicans won the House.
Huh?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I didn't hear that before we switched channel.
Okay, now we're on CBS News. Clinton 215, Trump 244.
Yeah, this is what I'm seeing everywhere else. 244, 215.
Is that about right there?
That's what Google says.
They're right there, Fresh.
Well, Google said the same number, so I don't know if Fox News is just getting too overly happy or.
It's like why is the numbers different on every channel? It's like then you got a question like, okay,
I think it's because they're jumping the gun on the numbers when they haven't finished counting in those particular places.
Yeah.
Google's showing a number of the blue states.
Yeah, we're on CBS right
blue,
now,
but not totally blue. So it's what they assume is going to happen.
Whichever way you look at it, it shows.
They don't really know.
If I was at home, I'd just go to bed. So
You said I'd just go to bed.
I'd have to wake up.
I would have had my shower in bed and been in bed. I'd go to sleep.
I don't even want to know.
He said, "Fuck it." Oh, Jesus Christ!
And just wait and just look at the result in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And then wake up to be like,
well, all things considering, it's still a really early night. I am impressed that we have the results that we have.
Me too.
This early.
Seriously, I Dude, I need to get the old man back.
Yeah, define
the old man needs to come back out.
When does Hawaii vote? Because how do we have them already picked? Aren't they on like the Japan time zone?
Hawaii voted already, and they went to here.
Yeah, most of them.
Their time zone is crazy earlier.
Yeah, but they vote at the same time as the military because of that.
So they
because they're so far. Yes, because they're so far ahead, they do absentee.
Oh.
Alaska is one of the last states that we actually look for. Yeah. No, Maine is one of the least populous states with the most territory that there is.
Big.
Yeah, it's huge.
But New Hampshire has 4 electoral votes and it matters. Why?
Because of the concentration of people.
But it's still the same electoral votes, so it doesn't matter.
Look, she's talking about Russia and the relations. Foreign relations with Russia.
I don't think Russia's going to start liking the U.S. no matter who's president.
No.
President Putin and his insiders probably up all night watching the results come in. President Putin is a pragmatist, and he has made it clear he will work with whoever wins the White House.
Damn.
But he may still be hoping.
That's what you're supposed to
Look at that! Look at the friggin' scaffolding rig that they've flown in that place.
I don't know.
That's out of control at Clinton headquarters.
I think
you have no idea how much that costs.
I think Putin might be.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
AV wise,
from an AV guy.
From an AV perspective, you have no idea how much that costs.
Oh my God! They have him on here. I thought he was dead. Damn. He's still doing news.
So this election, they have ghosts.
He's like Dan Rather, dude.
A lot of ghosts running the news right now.
Is that Gail from the Oprah Winfrey Show?
Yes, that's Gail King.
Are you shitting me right now?
No, he confirmed that.
Why does she belong anywhere near an election?
I think Gail King has her own show on somebody's network.
She does now.
I really don't care if she does.
I think it's NBC.
Is she a political pundit?
I don't know what Gail King. I'm gonna be honest.
If Donald Trump can be this close to being the president, why the hell can't Gail King talk about the election?
I really think.
Other than being Oprah's best friend, I never really known what Gail King.
But what's the problem?
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I really like what they just said about Putin.
You really don't need qualifications or experience to do anything. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna be a doctor, and I don't give a fuck what anybody else does.
Gail King has a journalism degree.
Okay, that's good. She got more than Donald Trump does.
She does.
I just never known.
She was just friends. She just happened to be friends with
Oprah. I just never know the fuck
Arizona's not.
It kind of overshadows everything.
Minnesota's not.
I mean, Oprah overshadows everything. So
there's a lot.
Oprah is all.
Right. Because I'm gonna go to work and quit and say I'm mayor.
All hail Oprah.
Damn, it's a fucking.
I was going to start a Facebook page,
Dude,
Baby Jordan for president.
2000 election.
Go for it.
Go.
You don't even need to be.
Baby Jordan. Right in, Baby Jordan.
CEO's chair
Right, sometimes I just wonder if they just want me to watch, to keep it neck and neck. Every goddamn time I watch an election like 2000, it's the same damn thing.
Look, he's drinking his coffee.
Neck and fucking neck, man.
He's relaxed.
Yeah. Oh, what did we put in our coffee cup? It ain't no coffee. I bet it ain't no coffee in his cup.
There's
He's
never
sipping
coffee
on some
in the
whiskey.
cup, dude.
He's sipping whiskey.
There's never coffee in the cup.
I would be sipping on whiskey.
There is not a single cup of coffee anywhere on any of these tables in this living room right now.
And then Barack Obama, and so she did better than say Florida or something. She did better in some of those counties. So yes, it looks like she.
So Beyonce and Jay-Z wasn't enough.
Damn, so close.
No, you forgot to mention Katy Perry and Lady Gaga going up there looking like a Nazi. Nah, it might work out. I mean, they're still neck and neck, really. I mean, it's still pretty close. Let's see. I'm the tinfoil, I guess. You know. I think you should know. You should know by now. Don't fool me. You already fucking know, man.
What do you fucking know?
It's these fucking media. It's these fucking the fucking TV people, man. They want ratings. They want you to tune in. They want you to keep this TV on. They want you to keep tuned into this station. They want that transition on.
So are you saying that they already know the result?
They kind of already know what's going on. They have it all planned out.
It'd be over before you see.
That's
I wish
my
they would start a purge tonight. Man, y'all be mad at me.
I thought I was on your purge team.
You are.
Exactly.
I didn't say you. I was talking about everybody.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was going to say, come on, man.
I
thought we were going to survive the apocalypse together.
We are. I'm prepared.
There's aliens and the zombies.
Because believe me, like my wife found out when the police were outside, there was like no panic. It was like, you just go 3 walls away from the action. I'll be right here. It's all good. I will put on the stone cold face and we'll see what happens with the world. I would be a mix in the world of Walking Dead. I would be a mix of Carol and Abraham. You know, the utter psycho dude that's going to kill everybody and really kind of enjoys it somewhat. But Carol at the same time, where it's like, hey, what's going on? Everything okay? You doing all right?
The last season, girls with shits. Girls with
Hey, talking about like the
election. Take you out. She complained about it afterwards and look all sad like she really want to do it, but she did it.
Have y'all ever heard of the election going total digital? Have you ever heard that?
Well, most of it's digital.
Yeah, like totally. Okay, check this out. So when it goes digital, how do you backtrack that and count the votes? Say if you want to like go back and verify the votes, you know what I mean? If you have a computer that says, okay, these people voted 400 for this, whatever, whatnot, and how do you go back and be like, okay, well that was digital, and you push buttons on a phone? Like, you know, you need hard copies of stuff to go back and verify.
Actually, no. With the digital system, it's fairly easy because you're building a database on the fly, and each person is an individual database as it's built, and it is not even connected to the internet. As is, see, you didn't get into the third part of the episode yesterday with the judge of elections in Pennsylvania, where it talked about how each unit is a closed circuit unit. Mm-hmm. And it in and of itself tabulates things, and at the end of the day, you pull everything from that, and then it's aggregated to somewhere larger. Uh-huh. Every individual machine is not connected to a larger database.
Okay, that would just be a machine of itself, but not saying an individual of itself, right? You know what I mean? Like there could have been how many individuals to that machine?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Every individual that goes up has a card. That creates a new database.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Oh.
And then that computer stores every database that has been put into it during that day.
Right. Huh.
And then those are tabulated together. And that's how that works.
And that would be the best way.
Like when we went to the potluck.
Yeah, and it's a closed loop system. It's not connected to the internet. It's not connected to a server. It's not connected to anything that can influence it from the outside.
Right, from the outside.
Each system is a closed loop system.
Huh. That's pretty good.
They've gone through some efforts to make sure that electronic hacking cannot happen.
Right.
Things like
and
that.
it's still handled by Debo.
No.
One of the big ones.
No.
But yeah, because during Bush's, it was.
Let's see what's going on because Fox has just updated things to 215, 240, 254.
They just ruined their aspect ratio again.
They did.
It shrinked a little. It was bigger.
And I would say that we still have to wait and see.
Anybody believes in signs? 215 is the area code for the city of Philadelphia, which is
what's that
Pennsylvania.
What's that Hillary's daughter?
If you believe in signs, that
forget her name.
Some people will look at it as Hillary's going to win Pennsylvania.
That seems interesting.
When you look at the polls that we all go through every morning, you pull them up on Real Clear Politics, there's really only two organizations that look like they may come out looking good. You know, the Investors Business Daily and the LA Times, both of which were thrown out by most prognosticators when they looked at these.
Prognosticator, I love it.
Going through these groups is quite stunning to see.
Way to be verbose.
You know, if you compare Donald Trump to Mitt Romney, and he's done better with Hispanics. He's done better with Black voters.
Mitt Romney's like a
I can't even believe
You're a third of this state's population and an eighth of the nation's population.
Yeah.
I mean, decide and vote.
Everywhere they went, wherever they were on the trail, when they went to rallies, they had tremendous support.
But what I was about to say earlier that I forgot to say was that Putin has announced he will work with whoever is in power. And
sure.
I really give props to him.
Women voted for Trump, so they just came out and they came out in droves and cast their votes.
They say, say he vote.
Well, the ones
minority, not a majority.
The ones that come out in droves more than anything are the 50+ crowd.
Yeah.
The retirees.
The baby boomers.
Yeah. Well, the baby boomers and
Fox
above.
projects Trump to win Iowa.
Those that don't have to work on election day. Those that don't have to work during the hours that elections are normally taking place. And
that's cool. Whatever.
That to me, I think, has been a big swing part of this election. Is people of that age.
To look like something that is comparable in some ways to Reagan in 1980, somebody that many people.
So yeah, what I was saying about Putin was that I think it's very cool of him to announce a statement that he work with whoever's going to be next or whatever.
He has no choice but to work with whoever's next.
Yeah, he doesn't have. Yeah. That's true. That's
nothing cool about Putin.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
That's not true.
There's a lot of badass shit about Putin.
He's cool as fuck. Putin. He could fuck us up if he wanted to.
No,
he's got 1,800,000
number one,
more missiles.
Let's start with the fact that the man was trained to kill people in their sleep. All right,
just alone.
Is he KGB?
Yeah, he's former KGB. So he was trained to kill people in their sleep.
But
he's pretty much a badass. Right. There are pictures of Putin straight up. There are straight up pictures of Putin like teaching flocks of geese how to fly.
Right.
You know, like just all this crazy stuff that's absolutely epic and amazing.
People from war that come back that are able to like touch deer and like more intricate with you know the surroundings of nature, you know, birds and deer come up to them because
it's hilarious to me though because it is absolutely nothing but a propaganda campaign, and it's great, but it rings solidly to what we can look forward to, and to the propaganda campaigns that we put forward.
But he's never took a statement that was like a dagger to the heart to us. You know what I mean? Like you know, he has.
Oh God,
well,
dude.
I mean, nothing like. I don't know, like that I've ever heard that was like boom right there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Before the Sochi Olympics, Obama basically called him out and said that he was nothing but a bunch of hot air.
Right. Oh God, dude, this guy's got a 10-year fucking nuclear missile defense system that he put out 10 years prior that was way more than ours.
No,
a nuclear defense system.
Not just that, like he will straight up polonium you.
Yeah.
Like he will strike your hand with some polonium and you'll die a couple years later, and that's all right. Like that's what he was trained to do.
He says that
yes, he has no problem whatsoever doing it. So for you to go around and say like, oh, you know,
don't shake hands with the motherfucker.
You know, yeah, this old school KGB guy, he's just a blowhard.
Yeah, that is an old school.
You know,
I remember that.
I don't know. He probably actively killed some people back in his day. Yeah. So I'd venture a guess that he's pretty real. Like he's known to have like Russian mob connections.
Right.
He's known to have hidden money in those accounts.
But couldn't he have already done some shit to us if he wanted to have already?
He has.
Say like
he has. That's what we were talking about earlier with the Clinton email hacks and stuff like that.
What was the small?
Is not the fact that
what was the small continent over there with the oil that we were fighting over? Remember the country that was once Russia, and then it fell apart, and then we were trying to come in, and then he was trying to take it back. I can't remember the name of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the little small country,
Chechnya.
It might have been that.
There were a few of them, but. Regardless, it's the fact of, he's a pretty horrible human being. He's done some pretty bad stuff.
Right,
he's not a good guy. He has mob connections, everything else. Yeah. So he's not really the dude that you want to be like praising and saying he's a great guy.
Praising,
I think he's hilarious because he's willing to, like, one of my favorite pictures ever is a picture of Putin teaching this kid at an international kung fu, or not kung fu, but
I've seen him at the
Taekwondo championship, like how to break an arm, and it's like this 8-year-old kid that Putin is like showing how to like this is how you snap an arm, kid. This is how it's done, and it's classy. It's great. You're never ever going to see the president of the United States teaching an 8-year-old how to break an arm in any propaganda stance or, you know, means of the media. Are you ever going to see that?
Right.
So to me, it's interesting. It's fun.
It is.
I love the fact that he's out there and he does those crazy propaganda
things. But there's
a
lot of stuff that he said, like, I mean, while we're doing our thing, that he could have really escalated the relations between the two countries to make it war, you know, and he seemed to have kept it more peaceful.
That's the last 6.
If I'm not mistaken, I would really say that it's been more peaceful talk on his in what he says.
244. That's the 16.
Well,
where it could have been war if it was up to him.
There was never a chance for war. He would never let war happen. War is not in anybody's best interest. Whatsoever.
No, not at all.
These people right here in this office need to learn how to white balance their camera. Whoever's in Concord, New Hampshire,
it's got a yellow tint
on Fox needs to learn how to white balance because the American flag is very yellow.
Yeah, it's a very yellow tint.
But that's just my personal opinion. Now, you guys were talking about Michigan over there. What were you talking about? Tia and
from what I'm being told, all it takes is for him to win Michigan, and he's currently ahead. Fresh can probably go into more detail, but I'm a little depressed.
What are you looking at, Fresh? What's the details you're looking at?
Oh, I was in a text conversation.
What the hell you weren't? It was me in there talking
shit. What? You didn't see what I text?
Oh yeah, never mind. You did text.
Thank you.
Fresh was trying to be the mediator. I'm in here going.
I like his shirt. I gotta get me a shirt. Hey, I gotta get me a shirt, man. Well, I mean, I got one for my. This is my band shirt.
You're wearing a shirt, Steven.
I know. I got my band shirt.
What are you talking about?
I got one. He's got one that says Fresh. I need one that said my name.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, they were saying that the last time the Republicans had the White House, the House, and the Senate was 1928, and the next year the Great Depression happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can think.
Power and check. What I tell you, Hoover was in the house, was in the office when we went into the pressure. He didn't do shit.
What's the other guy? Not Hoover.
Literally, not shit.
What's his name? Who signed in?
I'm trying to be fresh. I'm trying to be balanced with the conversation.
Jekyll Island guy.
I'm trying to say I feel you respect me, but bro, you pissing me off. You always have an excuse for some shit.
No, it's real deal. The president.
Even when me and him got into it about.
And all states she lost wasn't predominantly white states. If you look at the population in Georgia, there are a lot more black people in the state of Georgia than there are white people in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia is just a rural area, so most rural states like Georgia, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, they tend to vote more Republican than they do Democrat. But most of those states that I named, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana,
well, I never thought that
Arkansas. He went to Arkansas. Like those are predominantly black states.
Yeah, but they're predominantly black in in the more urban, bigger cities. They're not just like Texas. Yeah, we're mostly liberal here. But when you get outside of Austin, it gets real red real quick. I mean, you had a convention in Stevensville, and we had to drive through KKK town to get there.
This is true.
Yeah,
they were literally having KKK meetings right down the street.
They had to go through 2 KKK towns.
Yeah.
So I mean. Like I said, basically it's class warfare. The man just told y'all that he'll help y'all.
Well, and I'm glad that you said it as class warfare, because that to me has been my battle cry the whole time. Right. Is the fact that it is a form of class warfare.
Right.
That it's not racial. There are some disparate racial differences going on. But what's being brought about more than anything is the concept of poor versus rich. And there have been just as many disenfranchised Latinos, Asians, Caucasian Americans as Black Americans.
I mean, yeah, when I say it's class warfare, I think that was a major proponent of it. But I say it's also racial because there was a contingency of this country that felt like their country was being taken away from by people that didn't look like them. And the white people are the majority. And when they see Mexicans going to the poll, Muslims, Asians, they're like, holy shit, this is not going to be the America where everything that I feel is representation of power is going to look like me. It's about to slowly start changing. And Trump energized them to want to come out because he reminded them, like, when he says make America great again, he's basically saying let America go back to the time when we ruled everything, we made all the decisions, and the minorities knew their place and didn't try to jump ahead of us. Mm-hmm. And that's why Obama's legacy is. That's what I'm really thinking about right now. I'm like, his whole legacy is about to be tarnished because what America basically showed was, yeah, we liked you for 2 times, but we're not gonna let you revel in that glory for too long because you apparently, we let you slide in there, but no, there was never gonna be a chance we would let it go past that. Because like I was telling T outside, there's been 59 other countries that we don't even like that have had a woman elected to a higher office than we have.
Sure.
So I mean, it's just like I was telling your wife earlier, it makes you think that when you see Trump say all these racist and bigoted things, there's a contingency of the country that's like, that don't bother me because it doesn't bother me. But you're about to have people that said they voted for the Green Party, people that even believed in Hillary. All that's about to go out the window because Trump has never said he agrees with any of that. He's not going to reach out to the Green Party, reach out to the Democrats and say, well, I like some of your ideas. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to. Republicans going to do whatever the fuck they want to. And everything that everybody worked for from a Democrat to a Green Party is it's over. He's not going to let that shit slide. And it's funny because he's not really a Republican. If you look at his policy, he's not even Republican.
No, never has been.
This kind of goes back to what y'all was talking about with the whole pimp scenario.
Yeah.
So he played onto, whites who basically maybe are not rich. You can consider them below the poverty line, but of course they played into it because he brought up race.
Sure.
He doesn't like Muslims, blacks. We have nothing to lose. If you're Mexican, you're going back. He's going to build a wall. He played into all of that. And what people are going to slowly realize is that Donald Trump, as before, doesn't give a shit about anybody but Donald Trump. Regardless of the fact.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to slowly realize that.
Yep.
When he talks about small businesses, he's not talking about small businesses the same way that we would be talking about small businesses. He does not mean somebody who is Joe the plumber or anybody else. He's not talking about us. He's not talking about you. And when I say you, I mean the white people who voted for him or thought that's what he meant. He's not talking about you.
Well, and let's be real.
You're right.
as a small business, how many Joe the Plumbers were actually helped out? I mean, just to use the same analogy, how many Joe the Plumbers were actually helped out? Not a whole hell of a lot of us. There weren't a whole lot of us, even with the passing of national health care, stuff like that. That hurt a lot of us as far as independent small business owners. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and that's what we have to look out for.
Was still counting votes in 2012. I remember watching like at 11 in 2012.
What happened?
Still watching.
Yeah. What just happened?
We're talking about what time it is.
I'm still looking like it's 12:20 and it's still going on. You know
Technically, just so you know, that clock is 16 minutes ahead, like my entire anal retentive life.
Midnight, you know.
Like my dad did. All my dad's clocks that he can control.
I was just kind of like, what?
Yeah, it's my fault. It's
12:04.
I mean, I was trying to pace my alcohol with
it. Forward, so I would stop.
See, my dad does all his clocks that he can control shot forward.
He said like, put it forward.
Yeah, that's not a real clock.
I'm safe. Oh, it's supposed to
be.
That's 16 minutes ahead.
No, that's what I totally do.
You'll
myself.
never be late.
I never am.
You know why I never work? I mean, I understand why it works because I know that it's fast. I'm like, oh well, I'm not really late because I know what time it really is. That's why I never could. But my dad, it doesn't bother him. And I said, I know I'm on time.
I never did that.
You know what happens? I end up doing the math, and that wakes me up.
That's good.
I never did that.
I look at the clock, and then I go, oh, wait a minute. What time does that mean it really is? Well, shit.
No, I never did that.
Now I done solved the problem.
Enough time where I was on time.
I have no choice but to be awake now. My brain just did math.
You're not the one who's late all the time. I'm the one that's late all the time.
That's true.
I'm the one who needs them to be fast.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's like, oh shit, I should go. And then I get in the car and I'm like, wait, it's 12:04. I'm not going to be late at all. Oh, see, that worked.
You know what I think? I think as long as there's government, there's segregation. That's what I think.
Sure. Well, and that's
they're afraid of.
That's
me.
where I was coming from with what Confucius was saying, with the fact of I see it much more as a point of class warfare than race warfare.
Yeah, but Chris, I love you, but you're wrong because right now the fucking states have told you you're incorrect. The fucking states have told you they don't like, they're racist and they want to separate people, and that's what they're saying.
Exactly.
And you can believe what you want, and this lovely little
that's like saying
town
that's like saying no.
That we live in.
No, that's like saying that.
But it's what
how is
doing.
Hillary Clinton any less racist?
She's just not.
Go
okay?
ahead. Go ahead.
Because
she's never hugged and kissed James Byrd, right? She's never hugged and kissed the head of the KKK.
I'm just going to ask.
Go ahead.
When is the last
James
time
Byrd,
you
I
heard,
make fun thinking Bobby Bird.
Right. When is the last time you heard Hillary Clinton
James Brown's
speech about Muslims, about all Muslims not needing to be here?
I heard Hillary Clinton give a speech about half of America.
James Brown's right hand.
You mean deplorables?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Right.
Half of America.
You mean deplorables?
Deplorables.
You mean
half
racist?
of America.
You got 3.
You mean deplorables, right?
I
actually had no problem with her. Confucius, am I wrong?
Oh, I didn't have a problem with that either.
Okay, because I didn't have a problem with what she had to say about that.
I have a problem with her lumping everybody together because that in and of itself is the issue.
Together.
Yes, she did.
She said the
yes,
truth.
she did.
What
no.
she said is that Trump supporters are racist, sexist, misogynistic assholes, and nobody has yet to prove that to be
untrue.
Who has?
I know gay Trump supporters, so untrue.
Those gay Trump supporters hate themselves, and that's why they fucking voted for them. If you are listening to this and you are a gay Trump supporter, I'm so sorry you hate yourself.
That's a lie.
Like, you hate yourself and you're trying to...
Oh my sweet baby Jesus, that gives so horribly into the didactic.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I'm sorry that it's simple
That's like
for
saying
you.
that
I'm
I
sorry
don't know. That's like saying that I don't. That's like saying that I don't know Latin American. Trump supporters.
Dude, nothing in life will change for you ever.
You met one tonight, didn't you?
I did. I met one
I'm not
tonight
talking about me.
who
That's
told
the
me that
thing.
a Mexican lady told me tonight that she was a Trump supporter, but then she also in the same breath told me that she did not vote for Donald Trump. So I'm like, okay, which argument do you fucking have? I have not met a Trump supporter who has been one of the groups that he's spoken against who has not sounded confused to me. I'm sorry. I've not met an African American Trump supporter who has not sound like an asshat when they spill it.
I'm not saying that there's not the difference.
I've not met a lesbian or a gay Trump supporter who has said something to me.
But to discount what I'm saying is to discount their belief is to be totally un-American.
No,
to discount their belief in that.
So what you're saying is it's American to allow a person to hate you?
No. Because you just
because that's what's happening.
No. I just want you to repeat what you said. You said that is to be un-American, right?
What
America has proved to me is to be un-American is actually a good fucking thing. Because what America has proved to me is that we're fucking racist. It's the worst. We don't really do any fucking thing for the good of the people. I'm sorry. If that's un-American, I will wave that flag and I will be
That is your opinion, and that's the beautiful thing about the Fuck Your Opinion podcast is the fact that you're allowed to express your opinion.
You're right.
That's the beautiful thing about this show is that you're allowed to express your opinion. Your opinion's right, his opinion's right, her opinion's right, my opinion's right.
I just told somebody tonight, I said, you're definitely entitled to your opinion. I'm also
Welcome to fucking America.
I'm also entitled to tell you that.
Welcome to America. Unfortunately, Tia, I love you so much, but unfortunately, right now, 254 to 218 people are looking at Trump.
Fucking voting for somebody who has no.
But that's your opinion. That's your opinion. That's not theirs. That's not theirs. The fact is the 254 to 218. That's the disturbing fact. No.
Accept that you're wrong.
I'm saying it's a disturbing fact. I'm not saying it's a good fact.
Stop.
I'm saying it's a disturbing fact.
I'll say this to kind of ease.
Go ahead.
We all can agree on that we agreed on earlier. I'm not going to necessarily say that this election has showed me that this election was more racial than it was classism. Because as a young black man growing up in America, I've always seen, and like I said, I grew up in a family that was overtly racist and that always told me like it was. America from my eyes and my viewpoint and growing up has always been racist. And like we said earlier in the night, this election just really shows that America isn't really what it's about. It doesn't practice what it preaches.
Agreed.
America has put up this facade to the whole world and online that it's one way. It's so forward moving. It's so progressive. It's so tolerant of different racial ethnicities and backgrounds and creeds and religions. But at the end of the day, if it's not the norm and if it's not the status quo, if it's not what we consider to be acceptable, then it's fuck you. If you're not Christian and you're Muslim, then we don't want to deal with you. Fuck you. We don't need you here.
Exactly.
If you're not white, a homeowner, and you're making X amount of dollars, and you come from south of the border, we don't really care. We don't really care for you to be here because nobody's talking about putting a wall up in Canada.
So that's exactly.
Nobody's talking about putting a wall up along the Atlantic or the Pacific to stop Asians from coming in or stop Africans or the people from the Caribbeans coming in. Nobody's talking about doing that. Like, if you're not Cuban, nobody really cares about you if you're Latino because they smooth want Dominicans out of the country. They want Mexicans out of the country, but Jimmy Carter gave us wet foot, dry foot. So if you're from Cuba, you can make this swim across the Atlantic and you make it to Miami Beach. You're a U.S. citizen. But if you can swim across the Rio Grande or if you can outlast the desert and walking across Mexico to the United States or travel across a train from Honduras on top of a train, then we don't want you here. You don't need to be here. If you're coming from El Salvador, we don't really give a fuck about you. But if you come from Cuba, you can make that swim with sharks and all that. Go by all means be a citizen.
They go that political science major.
I see what you're saying. And that's absolutely true. I'm not denying any of that.
From Trinidad and Tobago, but we don't give a fuck.
But you are oversimplifying.
I just think America just doesn't really show that they really buy into what they sell.
He's saying that America is not what the idealists say that it is.
Absolutely, it is not.
And
I agree.
And people being
racist.
able to express their own opinion is bullshit. No one wants you to express your opinion. They want you to shut the fuck up and agree with what everybody says.
I agree.
They have no interest in you having your own opinion, and no one respects you if their opinion is different from theirs.
And that was shown numerous times in numerous electoral college videos that were released this year, where people tried to change the electoral college decisions in their states and in their regions, and they actually showed the fact that the electoral college just passed whatever they wanted. They did not listen to the mass that was there, and we're looking at it right now. And that's exactly what I'm saying is the fact.
Are you trying to pretend that the Electoral College is faking this?
What we're looking at is the Electoral College votes.
Yeah, but they're not.
I'm not saying they're faking it. What I'm saying is that these are the people that
to the real people of America.
No, these are the people that make the decision, not us.
It's nice that you're an idealist,
Not us.
but I am not.
We don't make the decision. You don't see the actual votes going on. You don't see hundreds of thousands to hundreds of thousands or millions to millions.
There, not at all what we're talking about.
I don't really care whose votes I'm looking at. The fact of the matter is,
Popular vote is us vote.
Already
Electoral is a different vote, which
America
normally wins.
Is not, like you said, America is not the America that it preaches to be.
Exactly.
Point blank, period.
Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Is that, am I
Period.
right?
The fact that somebody who has
like normal vote is us, like popular
Yeah.
vote. Yeah. And then electoral is a different category.
It's delegates.
Yeah. And then they the ones that.
It just.
They decided. Yeah.
Which it was written, I think. I want to say it's somewhere in the Constitution that
I just want to say
if a presidential candidate wins
the
I know
popular vote but can't win the electoral vote, then we
electoral college
tear down the
was put in
entire
place
system, start over. Which is what happened in 2000.
The founding fathers.
I won the popular vote, but he didn't win the electoral vote.
Of course they didn't.
Founding fathers are idiots too.
That too.
Agreed.
Yeah, because clearly the electoral college is always going towards personal votes.
And all the people that sit around and talk about them like they're the fucking kings.
Well, let's be clear. The electoral college existed at the time that it existed because we did not have the polling system that we have now.
And it was very off even then.
Right.
Good God!
So
at the
now
end
it
of
needs to go
stop.
away.
At the end of World War II, we had people fighting skirmishes a week after because they hadn't gotten the fucking news the war was over. So the reason the whole electoral college existed was to assure the fact that a president existed, despite the popular vote, despite what happened amongst the popular vote. If things weren't counted the way that they should be counted, these dudes who represented the constituency were going to assure the fact that a vote happened. And we've gotten to a point now where do we necessarily need that? No, not absolutely.
There's definitely an argument because, electoral college is one of those things, like you said, that represented different times and different places.
Yeah.
Like they always talk about the Second Amendment. I said, well, the Second Amendment didn't take into consideration AR-15s and AKs. So
no.
So you can't, it's hard to make the argument that, well, the Second Amendment, I said, well, they didn't have those type of guns back in 1776.
No.
So yeah, I can, every time I hear somebody talk about the only time I don't like when the electoral college is brought up when it comes to the 10-4 conspiracy theory, that people at electoral college have been chosen the president for over 30 years and it doesn't fucking matter. That's when I'm like, okay, you're doing a little too much. But
when people start talking about the electoral college like it's the BCS computer, that's when I start happening. Because this is not BCS. It's not a.
It doesn't calculate who's going to win before the
it doesn't do that. It doesn't calculate who's going to be in the national championship before. It doesn't calculate. It doesn't calculate primary votes and determine who's going to be president. That's not how the electoral college works at all. And I think that's how a lot of people view the electoral college the same way that BCS or the college football calculates the rankings. I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. That's not how this works for people.
So, but there's an argument that because, especially if it's always going the direction of the popular vote, then what's the point of even keeping it around?
That's the thing is that it hadn't always gone the way that the popular vote's gone. We saw that in 2000.
Well, 2000, if you look at the number of votes,
and Democrats had something to do with that too.
Yeah. So it's always that weird
and that's why I'm saying either way the election goes tonight, you can expect to see lawsuits swing.
Right.
Either way.
Right. Either way, right?
Either way, I would not be surprised to see lawsuits
either
swing.
way.
I'm pretty sure Hillary's sitting there thinking like, why did everybody say I was going to win and I lost? What did I miss? Either people were lying to the polls or something's going to click.
Trump was over saying for pre-hand, and then if it don't go her way, she gonna exercise her right. So it's like, it's gonna be on either end.
Yeah, because I talked to you guys beforehand, and we got about 10 minutes left in this episode, but I talked to you guys beforehand, and I really didn't see it going.
I didn't see it going like this either. No way.
This long.
If you would have told me it would have went like this, I would have told you you goddamn lie.
Yeah. I just Trump is literally the anesthetic to everything that
he's an enigma.
Election process. Yeah, he's an enigma.
He's an enigma.
Like Chris Claremont, I was telling Freshly, I was like, if you're writing a comic book and he's the villain,
this would be the perfect one.
This would be the perfect
This guy
story.
literally, he's like Lex Luthor on Superman. He literally rose up.
I had some signed Claremonts out here for y'all to check out. I'll have to proud pop them to you here in a minute.
So he literally just rose up.
Donald Trump is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor eventually became president.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He is Lex Luthor. Literally. He is the personification of Lex Alexander Luthor.
What's worrisome is that there's so much uncertainty with him because he's so temperamental. Anytime you're dealing with somebody who runs off their emotions, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it's like...
the worst thing is there's no aliens called Superman that are going to
they're going to shut that shit down.
Sorry.
So it's kind of like how's it going to happen? Like you started to see the stock market is just plummeting. You see these countries are looking at us like, okay, this guy's clearly saying he don't like us. What the fuck are we going to do? People always been talking about him and Russia, but I'm like, he basically said China wasn't shit, and China has the biggest army in the world and more nukes.
Yeah.
So
and they own America.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, Trump.
We're kind of behind on the nuke thing.
Trump has numerous.
They own 5 studios in Hollywood now.
People like to paint Hillary as
3 states
this super corrupt politician, but Trump has his own scandals on the business side. So, like I've said before, do you think he's really going to become president and stop doing what the fuck he wants to? So the question is like, what kind of president?
Is goddamn Texas.
And once again, that shows what the fuck. The man, watch his tax returns come out 2 years from now. And this motherfucker been giving money to every damn body.
It's a shit.
Hey, it's like every
quite honestly,
it's
as a business owner and as a business owner yourself, you should kind of laud the man because if you got the fucking tax lawyers to take care of the shit, number one, fix the loopholes, take care of it. Make sure that the tax code doesn't allow for the cheating, and if you got the lawyers to be able to pay for if you got the lawyers to be able to pay for the cheating, freaking pay for the cheating.
If you've been going this
welcome
long
to the American business.
If you've been going this long without paying tax, you're not going to change it because you feel it's right. It's not going to happen. And then with him too, he's
that's literally how I feel about that situation.
It's like for him
as a business owner.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. What do you do? What illegal? But I don't expect him to go in here and change that shit.
Yeah,
like he's not going to make.
They ain't gonna change it. Number one, he can't change it. He's the president. He's not the House. He's not the Senate. So he can't write a fucking law.
But he has the House.
He can't write a law.
So he can tell them like, look, I want to keep things the way they are. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. But
well, we hope that that's the case.
I doubt they're gonna go against him.
254.
I think with him too is gonna be, I wouldn't be surprised if he got impeached. You thought Nixon was bad. Nixon went in with scandal. Trump was going in with scandal too. But of course, once
so is Hillary.
I think.
But see, once again, to give the Republican Party credit, they made Hillary look like the mob boss and not him.
Oh yeah.
This man is known as a bad guy in New York. That's why New York beat both of his ass tonight. And he's from New York.
Oh yeah, no.
They know him as being this type of guy that you can't trust with money. So I'm saying it'd be funny if his tax return, like Anderson Cooper told Kellyanne Conway, who was the campaign manager, he said it's just funny to hear y'all talk about transparency with the Clinton campaign, but you guys want to release your tax returns. You only want transparency when it involves the other person. When it comes to you guys, we can't talk about it.
It's always that way. Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
What makes you wonder what is in those tax returns for him not to show.
Yeah, right.
I can almost guarantee you on my children that it's something else tax return that the people saw. They're like, what the fuck?
Technically, until they're done with the audit, he has no reason whatsoever
Ain't no
to
fucking audit.
release
There's no
the
fucking
tax
audit. Well, there's no audit because there's been no proof of no damn audit. And also lawyers have said you can release your tax returns under an audit. He just says that because it wasn't deflected.
We've got Hillary under a criminal investigation.
Would you release your tax returns when they're under
audit?
When they're under an audit?
Nothing to hide. I would definitely.
When they're under audit.
I swear to God.
Really?
How long has this audit been under?
That is such a huge legal liability. You're crazy.
Like forever.
He's not under audit. He's not. There's no proof he's under audit.
IRS during this thing could say, okay, we're done, and then he could release them. And you know what I mean? The IRS could say we're done with their investigation.
There's no proof he's under audit. And they asked him to show proof, he won't even show it.
Why won't they do that?
There's no proof he's under audit. He just says that that's the way to deflect from the fact he'll never release them. Because once you're a businessman who makes his business off doing shady shit, you hide your facts and nobody will see it. And the reason Al Capone went to jail is because he hid his taxes.
Is he still under audit or not?
The way the mafia works is that there's a chain of command called the Cosa Nostra, where the boss, he makes a demand and it goes through so many people that if somebody started snitching, they would never get back to the boss. That's the exact way Donald Trump runs his business. There's so many people in between where he makes his decision that by the time it got back to him, you could never charge him for it. But
that's any business.
But exactly, but that's also because of the tax laws in this country.
Do you have a Wells Fargo account?
But Wells Fargo clearly got in trouble. But I'm just saying, that's not an excuse.
No, I'm just curious.
That's not an excuse for him doing shady shit. Like the man,
none of them lost their job. Not a damn one.
Are not running for president of the United States. I don't understand why are we continuously bringing up people who are not running.
It definitely matters if you're trying to run the country.
Because they all should have lost their job.
If it's the fact,
they should have lost their job.
What we're discussing is the fact that we have an asshat is who running to actually be the president of the United States.
And if this was proven.
Let's not call into fact about anybody else.
No, that's why I'm curious, because if this is the fact, then he would have lost his job.
He's literally, is he like the only person, like the only presidential candidate who's not released their tax returns?
In 40 years.
Okay, I don't want to hear shit else about it. Okay.
He's the only one that had that.
In 40 years.
Once again, if you're hiding something, that's why you don't release something.
Right.
Not to say that he's not under audit, but I highlight that.
I think all these characters.
It's like there's really no proof he's a billionaire.
If you're hiding something, you use bleach bit too.
But here's the funny thing, because people always bring up.
If you're hiding something, you use bleach bit.
I'm
sorry.
The funny thing is that people always bring up Hillary trying to give her information, but a lot of the people the donations that people know about came because she released her tax information. That's how they know that she donated money. People donated money to her.
Doesn't matter.
But so if you're telling me a guy that won't release it, it's supposed to be this clear,
the
transparent
fact is, she used bleach bit to purposefully get rid of data.
So yeah.
First of all, let me explain this, and I understand what you're saying. There is nothing that shows that Hillary directly said to erase all my shit. When you have a job and you have an email set up and you look and your job is over,
The question is, was
that goes back to what I said, when people try to say they know more than the FBI does. Just because you don't like an outcome does not mean you know more than the person that's doing it.
Hey, Confucius, here's the thing. As a business owner, that's like saying that Trump is responsible for the bankruptcy of companies. He's
Nobody's
not.
saying that. Nobody's saying,
Numerous people have said that, and that's bullshit to say that they haven't.
But here, okay. Let me make an example.
They've made the
1,000 times whenever somebody brings.
Let me make an example. Okay, and
because it's all spin.
And to go into safe territory.
Yeah, you're spin too.
And Daredevil. Remember the first season of Daredevil. Remember how Kingpin made his money?
Yeah.
Kingpin made his money because of destruction in New York, right?
Yeah.
That's how Donald Trump made his money.
I'm not
the same
denying
housing
that.
economy that crashed under Bush 2 times.
It's a commercial. Like the Simpsons are coming on at 12:30 in the morning.
I would be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. People take the attention.
The Simpsons always come on.
They put on the The Simpsons are always right, in case y'all haven't noticed.
Oh no, they are.
Hey, guess
Kang
what?
and Kodo, straight up.
The
Simpsons are clairvoyant.
Oh yeah.
No, but we're
Absolutely.
going to discount South Park. South Park be on it too.
Yeah.
I just need sleep.
What was that one part you were saying?
South Park be on it, man. South Park, they turn them episodes out like that.
I ain't watched South Park or The Simpsons. It's about the same amount.
Well, no, not The Simpsons.
I ain't watched either one at the same amount of time.
I like South Park.
I really feel like I'm in twilight.
What was the thing?
When you see Ron Sterling pop out with a cigarette and a suit on, you know what time it is. Ron Sterling's been dead. Ross Sterling, I tell you, Ross Sterling smoked every episode. You damn right he's digging.
I was to say he pop out.
That was back in the 60s when the cigarettes had filters. You just say paper tobacco.
I was to say he pop out in a suit and a cigarette smoking like
Ross Sterling's been dead.
Yeah, right. We in the wrong time.
Ross Sterling been dead since like 70.
And there's a whole conspiracy theory about Morley cigarettes actually that goes throughout like television history. It's absolutely amazing. If you actually go through the X-Files, Morley cigarettes are the cigarettes that the Cancer Man smokes, and they're used in numerous
also,
TV
Daryl from
shows.
Walking Dead smokes those same
Yes, exactly.
I know that because
and there's this whole concept. So, talking about conspiracy theories, talking about things that go beyond the election, talking about things that go on into infinitum.
I seen people make references to The Walking Dead about tonight.
Yeah.
Saying Glenn get killed by Nick.
Oh, straight up. Straight up.
So you know something bad about to happen. You trying to see what it's going to be.
When we come back, folks, we will be steps closer to having a new president.
A new president. I believe so.
We hope.
We hope. Or hope not. Oh, I don't know what you were saying, but I had something to say, but then I lost it because I forgot what we were saying. It don't matter.
Yeah, there we are. All right, we are back, folks.
Yeah, still in here.
Right now, Trump projects Trump to win Florida.
Trump projects.
I'm sorry, Fox projects Trump to win Florida.
Same thing.
The electoral votes right now are Trump 222 and Clinton 202.
Depends on what you're looking at.
So it does depend on what you're looking at.
Because Confucius was saying, Google was saying something different, and MSNBC had Hillary up.
See, and that's the 2000 election. Somebody said this, somebody
This
said
happens
that.
to be the best channel that I catch other than PBS, which this many people in the room I think would probably be intermittent at best.
I love PBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, but intermittent PBS is no good.
You got Reading Rainbow? I'm down.
Not that our interest would be intermittent, but that the channel would only show us intermittent.
We were having some interesting individual conversations as we were off air.
For sure was.
Stephen and I were outside talking about just generalities and the way that people view things and the society that we have utterly created in America that, much like Tia said earlier, people do not reach for the deeper part. They don't reach for the story. And I covered that with John Bowen a little bit yesterday. It's the fact that in our immediate gratification society, with media, it is the chase of the headline. And we talked about that a little bit in the episode that we were with, that you were with us on, Tia, where people are more concerned about the headline and getting the biggest headline out there than they are about the story. And sometimes you read the headline, then you go and read the story, and it's like, hey, what the hell? Like, this headline ain't even in the story. Like, where the hell did you even come up with this headline, man? And Stephen is even guilty. Like, I mean, I put up an article all of a couple weeks ago about Obama taking away the Pledge of Allegiance in schools and stuff like that. Take it out. It was an utterly fake article, and like at one point in the article, they quoted like Jimmy the masturbating dolphin mascot in Florida, or something like that. But it's one of those, and people were like, "Oh, this is fake," and I'm like, "I know this is fake." Yeah. Like that's kind of the idea. Is this is a litmus test? And, you know, our friend Jacob.
An hour off.
Our friend Jacob here in town was like, so you're trolling your own timeline. I'm like, absolutely. I'm trolling society all the time to see who is awake and who's paying attention. And that's what we should all be doing. That's what we should all be doing with the media at all times.
Absolutely. We have to hold them accountable. I mean, I think people just take what they see as Bible. And that's
they just take it at face value. And that's the example I was making. And I even said that like, yes, this is fake. And then people later in the timeline were like, this is a fake story. It's not real at all. And I'm like, did you not read my response? Like, once again, like you just proved my point. You didn't even read the responses to see the conversation that was going on.
That's something that me and Confucius deal with often. People that don't read the previous comments and responses
the conversation beforehand, and they just jump in something and just start commenting.
Saying
whatever comes.
Well, and Steven today had posted one, and I'm guilty of it. I've been called out on it, and I've deleted them. I've seen them. We've all seen them online.
And I'll tell you what it exactly was. Like a friend of mine on Facebook, Mike Epps, and he will always be a friend of mine. I like Mike Epps, And there was an article, and I reposted it and shared it and whatnot without going in detail and reading it. And it was a mistake of mine.
Well, it was literally video of woman breastfeeding her 6-year-old child goes viral on Facebook. Something like that.
Why wasn't this on my newsfeed?
6 and a 2-year-old.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing though. What was there?
Right. It was untrue.
What was there? I don't know if it was untrue or not, but what was there and what Steven posted was literally it was a clickbait.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Yeah.
And if you saw the link, it was like
she literally
like
was
internet. It was like internet meme pictures.me or something like that.
Okay.
And it was like, well, I don't know if this is real or not. Right now, we really need to focus on election to begin with.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's a prime example of how easy it is to be drawn in by a headline. How easy it is to be swayed by something like that. And even the rhetoric of Trump touching vaginas. He never said he did. He said that he could. And
it's either okay.
I could reach down and grab.
No, I'm not saying either is okay.
Chris is making this.
However,
it was said that
Bill Clinton got
I'm famous and they know who I am.
Bill Clinton
could grab him by the vagina,
and that's the legal.
The world took it as Trump literally saying that when I meet a woman, I grab her by the vagina.
And it's all in how you put the headline.
Right.
It's all in how you put the headline.
Right.
And it's the same thing as Bill Clinton saying that depends on what the term is. That depends on how you define the term is.
Like
some what?
Yeah. We go back into
but whenever you're talking legal definitions and things like that, technically the man never said I grabbed women by the vagina.
He never say
he
I
said,
did.
I'm famous enough that they would probably let me get away with it.
Right.
Which is no less horrifying, no less horrible, but it is not the fact that he said he did that.
Yeah.
And that is what was taken and run with. That's what was like catfish to chicken liver on a friggin' trot line. They just took it and ran with it. And that's what this whole election has been. Has been nothing but catfish bait, where it's like you aren't going to nibble on it. You just want to suck it down whole and take the hook, line, and sinker at the same time. And it's like that's what the media has been doing.
The other people that Chris said, I think other people on the other side of the thing would probably say, well, despite that, he did not say I did that, or he left it wide open like he didn't do it, but you could do it. But it's the fact that he just expressed it the way he expressed it makes him a dog.
Oh, it's horrifying. Yeah, it does make him a dog. It makes I'm not going to lie.
The other side would say
at the same time, like I've worked in rock and roll so long, I guess I'm a little blasé. If I was to unmute any of those microphones on stage before we go live, you'd probably hear about the same thing. Like, oh, look at that pair up there in the front row, bro. Yeah. Like, it would pop out. It would be there. And it would be someone like will.i.am, who is like a changing person in the world, who is like, hey, check out that girl in the front row at the Super Bowl.
You say
I died laughing.
But like I said earlier in the show, but to say you grab them by the pussy,
right?
Which you're basically saying they're so famous that you do it just because.
It's still horrifying.
I've never been around anybody that's ever said that. Like, once again, I compare that to saying that 12-year-old, she was sexy. Like, what the fuck? No, I'm going to do. I'm just saying she looks good.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute, goddamn.
You're just saying is some. Hey, wait a minute.
Your mind went to a place I don't want to go. Like, I remember I was arguing with a guy online, and he was telling me, he's like, yo, the Clinton email show a child sex ring, and the email said, the email said something like, we're going to bring these 3 children over to the pool for entertainment. I'm like, where are you getting sex? I said, why is your mind going to child sex ring that quick?
And that's just it. It all depends on how you spin it. And there was a really great show on years ago called Spin City.
Hey, with Michael J. Fox.
Whenever I came in,
oh, Michael J. Fox on there.
Whenever I came in,
television.
the side conversation over here between you three guys was how in local politics, and I have a friend of mine from high school who actually works with the city of Houston and stuff like that. And he has straight up said the exact same thing you said, Fresh, which was it's hard because once you get into politics, number one, you're concerned about the next election,
right?
And that was something that they showed on Spin City all the time. It was always about the polls. It was always about the demographics.
Public opinion polls. If you're up, if they
it was always about that.
You're always thinking about winning the next election.
And it's not just that, but it's also the fact of there are so many people that are courting you. There are so many people that are courting contracts, that are trying to do stuff that, you're going to be approached by people. And it seems really innocent at first, and it takes nothing to get entangled in something.
It always starts out with, I'm doing this for my constituents.
My community.
This
is for my community.
Right.
This is to get rid of the potholes on 6th Street, man, because it's ridiculous.
I think when a real politician can run up and say stuff like that, make a statement like that, and they're not millionaires, billionaires, or so high wealthy, I think I can believe their statement better when they say statements like that.
This I was just texting Tia and telling that this is really
take money out.
Why are you texting Tia when she's right there?
She texted me.
That's some shit, dude.
Well, no,
that's hardcore, dude.
No, I'm just telling you.
I'm going off on a Trump supporter.
Y'all cold as ice.
I'm a business zone. I apologize.
Y'all cold as ice.
I was telling her that Fox News is like each one of these channels is
texting back and forth.
They're approaching it from a partisan perspective because Pennsylvania is leaning heavily towards Hillary, but Fox won't call it. But every other channel, MSNBC has already called it for. And if she wins Pennsylvania, she'll be maybe 2 or 3 points under Donald Trump.
Who's Fox News?
But why do you
What
have
about
to
Georgia?
He's gonna probably get that one.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get that.
I thought maybe Georgia was gonna be a little bit more blue leaning because now it's sort of it's sort of the new Hollywood, And if California went to Hillary, maybe Georgia could go to Hillary too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's much like and I remember with Matt Andrews actually sitting around and taking bets in Maine. Shout out to Matt Andrews and 5 Foot Ficus up in Maine. Up in Maine. But literally, it was during the first Obama election. And I remember the numbers in Louisiana being close, and they're like, "Oh, Louisiana's totally going for Obama," and I'm like, "You're crazy."
Bobby Jindal.
Bobby Jindal in there, and they're going for Obama. No, I was like, they're going for Obama. I'm sorry, like I got family in Louisiana, and no, like they won't even buy into that. Like, and you see these things, and you think the trend is going to go a certain way because of stuff, but it's interesting the way it goes because. Yeah, Georgia is still quite a bit rural. As great as Atlanta is, and as progressive as a lot of Atlanta is.
Yeah. That's just like
the rest of Georgia is not.
And that's why I compare it to like Austin. Like when you look at Texas, people look at Austin. Austin is the most liberal city. Travis County is the most liberal county.
The tiny blue dot in the middle of the big red state.
When you look at it in retrospect, it's still Texas. And Texas is pretty rural and it's still, for the most part, pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Georgia's the same way. I've been to Atlanta 3 times in my life, and I've been to the rest of Georgia. Atlanta is the only city within that state that looks the way that it does.
I can tell
Macon doesn't look like that. Savannah doesn't look like that. Columbus, Georgia doesn't look like the way Atlanta looks. So for the most part, you look at Georgia like you would look at Texas. Atlanta's Atlanta, and the rest of Georgia is just Georgia.
Well, it's just like driving between Houston and Austin. I cannot say that I've seen a Hillary sign.
You won't because it's scary as fuck because all those people are looking for us. Driving here to home is like a horror movie for me. I'm like, I can't stay out here past dark. It has to be daylight. It's
that bad where you live?
I've seen them.
Really? Really?
Past Austin?
In Cedar Park?
Come on now.
Cedar Park?
I think 7100.
Oh, come on.
He said between Austin and Houston.
I saw one in Austin. I can't think of where I saw it at.
I mean, I've seen a gang of them in Austin.
Oh, they were
I've seen a bunch of them in Austin. I'm talking about like down I-10 to 71 and up to 71.
71, you're not going to see them because you barely see
them
in houses.
I definitely see them going down 290.
I don't take 290.
But I'm saying I'm down. If you go there, if you take 290, I definitely see that.
Right there,
I definitely see Hillary signs, campaign signs. You may see. I want to say you maybe see 3 on the way up 290, both Austin and Houston.
I don't
and
even
probably
know.
When you get Prairie View. That's just on the campus, and that's just on the campus of Prairie View or around the campus. Other than that, anywhere else in Hempstead, you probably see a Trump sign.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Or Hidden Tomball or Humble or Huntsville. I know you ain't seeing one in Huntsville.
Oh yeah, you aren't seeing a Hillary sign in Huntsville. Well, and that's just that's the old school term of calling a spade and understanding what the demographic is. You know, it's just like my buddies.
That's dope.
It's
just
like
like
sharing good news.
No, California legalized recreational use of marijuana for adults.
Of course they did,
and Florida did too.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah, Florida was medicinal.
Yeah, medicinal.
Yeah, Florida passed medicinal. I saw that earlier on Twitter.
No,
but you voted right for
Florida actually decriminalized small amounts in Orlando,
and
that passed to be like on the street legal in October. And it was mainly because they're a big tourist city, and people would come, buy a little bit of reefer, go to Disney World, and the next thing they knew, they caught a case and had to come back.
The war on drugs should be with opiates.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Heroin. We just know. Like Obama said,
Chapo's pushing.
I don't know that we have any. I don't know that we have any national soldiers guarding marijuana fields anywhere in the world.
I don't think they used to do that, but I don't know. Maybe you guarding a poppy seed field, but I doubt.
Oh yeah, we're definitely guarding some poppy fields, but I don't know that we're guarding any pop fields.
Like, hey, poppy.
I was very tempted because the place down the street sells sipping syrup, and I was like, how fun would it be to enjoy some sipping syrup?
I saw that on Facebook. Is that what it's called, sipping syrup? I saw that on Facebook the other day and just was like, yo, this can't be real. This is strong. That's the name of it.
Slip and slide. Wait, what?
That's the name of it. That's the name of it. It's called sipping syrup. I saw somebody posted on Facebook and their caption was, this can't be real. And I was just looking at it like, no way, this is real.
Had they had Four Loko, I might have gotten some of that for it.
Don't do it.
I don't care. Let's put some stuff out.
It's legit real because the theater that I work at used to be down on Rosewood and Chacon, and there was a store right there that sold that sipping syrup. And one day we dared somebody to buy it, and it's cough syrup, and you just drink the cough syrup and get
well, no, that's what it is. It's mixed with Sprite. It's mixed with Sprite.
See, I'm taking Lil Wayne.
It's mixed with the lemon lime crisp.
When Lil Wayne went off on a rant, like,
and I guarantee you,
y'all gonna tell me it's mixed with
I guarantee you,
I doubt it's Sprite, but it's probably a crisp flavored soda.
Probably some kind of Fresca.
I keep looking
and Fresca is on my Coca-Cola, so I know they're not using Fresca.
Speaking of
I just went online and looked it up, and
it's getting bigger and bigger. The margin there
went to
seems like
Trump,
it is every time I look at it.
and I looked at the state, and he was right. Atlanta, blue. Savannah, blue.
Augusta, blue.
The rest of it red.
Everything was red.
Everything
basically
else is
looking
red.
at Texas.
Yeah. I looked at Texas too. Most of the southern tip there,
red.
all blue, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. Austin, Houston, and Dallas, all blue.
Yeah.
But the rest of it red.
No San Antonio?
Yeah. I thought it was definitely
No.
Wow. Well, actually, no. I think it was blue. Actually,
it's my whole town.
Georgia
San Antonio.
just called in.
San Antonio. Full of culture.
Way to be progressive, Stephen.
What's that?
Good Lord. It is so damn
I was headed that direction.
Damn, I love you.
How many electoral votes
I think
does
we can
Alaska
actually
have?
work that out.
Take 3.
Yeah, I was going to say like 3 or 4.
3 is 3. They have 3.
Let's see what they're talking here, guys.
But you said they won't call Pennsylvania for Hillary.
The biggest crazy election
no.
in 500 years.
Pennsylvania she's up by maybe 70,000.
Yeah, it just showed there on the bottom.
Hill now seems higher to climb than Donald Trump's climb was at 7 p.m. this evening. It is infinitely more difficult for Hillary Clinton to become president now than it is for Donald Trump. And every good dime is on Donald Trump being the next president of the United States.
So what? What?
In a number of states.
And just think, people thought Reagan be
Kim Kardashian to be running.
I know. People thought that was out of control. People thought that was out of pocket.
Was going to be bad. Oh my gosh.
On what appears
I really thought she was going to.
It was funny. I heard John Bound yesterday on the episode because I asked a few different people. You know, I asked John Bound, who is a investigative journalist, stuff like that, what his vision was. I asked Amy's mom, who is a former electoral college voter, what her vision was if things happened, and I asked my buddy Mike in Pennsylvania, who is not only a judge of elections up there in his county, but is also a financial analyst, what his vision was, depending on who. And John had a very interesting answer. He was like, of course, with Hillary, I see a city that is just on fire. There's, and it was this horrible dystopian thing. And he was like, but with Donald Trump, I actually see like just this path that goes off into the woods. And there's this cloud of mist that's there. And I really don't know what's there. And the sign that says Trump is misspelled. And
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. That sounds absolutely horrifying. But it was interesting to me as someone who's been part of media to hear someone part of media describe it that way. Because like, I don't know. Like I've said the whole time, I don't really think that either party put forth the best pony that they really could have put forth in the race.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I don't think anybody expected this right now.
No. I mean, there's silence in the room. It's amazing. These two are probably texting back and forth about
social media.
I was reading comments on social media.
Yeah. My boss actually texted me and was like, OMG, what the fuck? She's like in her 60s. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
I was reading. No, this is mind numbing. Like I've said before, this is our first tabloid election, man. This is our first reality TV election, straight up. We are basically voting for prom king or queen.
Right.
That's what we're doing. I really don't feel like there is an election for president that's gone on either side of the gate. On either side,
qualified. No,
like I don't think Hillary has had to put up the fight that she would have to put up with had she had a real opponent, and I don't think that Trump has had to put up the fight that he had to put up with had he had a more charismatic opponent.
I think if Hillary had an actual political opponent, I think it would have been harder for her. Like had it been, had it been Jeb Bush or had it been John Kasich, it would have been a lot harder for her. We would have had a totally different election.
Absolutely.
Trump's just a piece of.
I actually was rooting for Jeb Bush. I wanted Jeb Bush too. I wanted him to get the Republican nominee. I was really rooting for Jeb Bush.
And then Trump's all rude to him and shit.
When he bowed down and he just couldn't get it done, I was just like, God, man.
Yeah.
You're like the useless Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to feel bad when you're Jeb Bush, in the Bush family.
You can't win.
They're talking about
you're the only one that, hey, son.
They're talking about Trump projected to win Florida, Wisconsin.
Away. I don't know that you would say that it's more extreme. In some ways, it's more moderate. Certainly on social issues,
I can't even believe the things I'm seeing.
The evangelical party has been. On foreign policy, he's much less interventionist.
To win
in some respects, he's to the left of Hillary Clinton on foreign policy. He's talking about, multilateralism. We have to make other.
Who's his dad again? He's a well-known, legendary journalist, wasn't it? Chris Wallace's dad. He's got a Wallace.
Well, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, sure offhand. Yeah, I do, but I mean, I don't. If I did, I could say it, but I guess. Yeah, there's a Wallace.
I don't know, but I will tell you this. I've always loved one thing about the Fox News, and that is their freaking room in the background. My God, when
look how big that damn screen is back
that's
there.
A touch screen, man. And every one of their people is sitting behind a touch screen like that. And it's so damn sexy.
Oh, jeez.
Everybody's sitting
behind screen or something.
Everybody's sitting behind a 60-inch Intella screen. It's just so dope.
They working at NASA?
People have really not wrapped their head around the prospect of President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
And we...
Tia, don't pull all your hair out.
I don't know.
And I just cut it off.
I know you did. I know you did. You should have saved at least a few knots or something to pull out for tonight.
I'm about to go home and get my stun gun. And
Chris, I have one here.
Give it to me. I'm just gonna walk around.
Be careful, because we did actually have a search warrant served over across the street the other night. So, yeah, it was amazing.
It's kind of Dust Springs area.
I guess so, but the neighbors are it's all just a bunch of families and shit, I guess, except for the thugs right across the street. But it was real scary.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we were just sitting here, and all of a sudden, it was like, this is the Austin police. We're issuing a search warrant.
Holy shit.
And we were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You look out their door, and there's like 5 cars, 5 like big trucks parked out front, and they went in
2
the house
tactical
across the street,
vans
and
and
what the hell? It was pretty crazy.
That's when I bring up a Tesla fence where I hit the switch and there's a force field.
I kept wanting to go outside.
You did what now? You do what? Show me the paper, and then I might turn it off.
Go hang out in the back bedroom. There's 3 walls in between you.
Don't be running up.
Like a spike in like alcohol purchases.
Busting my door down.
Yeah, the Dow dropped 700.
They were saying that they were literally saying on social media.
It was like 500 earlier.
Yeah.
The hell?
Yeah.
That kid's gonna win.
The hell?
Yeah.
What happens if he does?
Whoa.
What happens if the Dow then?
I think everything, all this economic turnaround that was kind of slowly starting, is gonna just reverse back.
What?
We go back into another depression.
Oh!
We already had climbed into the worst depression.
Well, he better dump some damn of his own money in there.
Yeah, it's
700 points.
I have a feeling there's other bigger entities that would prefer him to be president.
They sell it in Wall Street.
Yeah,
that's why I think he will win before that, because of that reason. There's prominence. Well, of a generation. There's a dynasty.
And see,
there's something they can control with
I'll
that.
go real sad in this room right now. We
got 15 minutes left in this.
I was depressed. When he started getting quiet, I got depressed.
When we got 15,
I knew better.
We got 15 minutes left in this.
If he wasn't talking shit, if Confucius wasn't talking shit, someone right.
We got 15 minutes left in this part of the episode, and I'm not afraid to go tinfoil hat. Y'all know this. I have said since the beginning that number one, Donald Trump was a plant.
Surprise guest.
Did you say that website actually crashed?
Clintons are a dying breed. All they got is what's her name? Dog.
He said that.
You said it actually crashed.
Trump's family. They've got lots of young kids they can.
Which website?
Canadian immigration website.
Oh, hilarious!
I've got lots of young generation of Trumps they can groom. Wow. To the Trumps.
What were you saying, Ben?
Well, I've said since the beginning that Donald Trump was a plant, and that he's never been a Republican. He's never supported Republicans. Him and the Clintons have been hip deep for years.
I've heard this theory.
And
I've heard this before.
There's one or two things that happen.
Get some more pizza.
Either the lobbyists get their best friend in Hillary Clinton, who they've had for years, Goldman Sachs, people like that, or
they get one of the biggest industrialists in charge in here.
With new blood.
Either way, the puppet wins.
Lots of new blood.
You get to divide some people, create some dissension, create some controversy, which always brings up some markets, which always, just like war, that shit sells. And then, at the same token, either way, you have control with the presidency. And if one of them wins, especially Hillary, then you're talking about Trump starting his own news network like he's talked about and bringing in all of the alternatives. And at that point, especially since the U.S. has dropped propaganda law and since they tried putting FCC regulators into newsrooms to assure that approved messages are going out, at that point, you use one fell swoop to declare all of them dissidents, and you get rid of all alternative media in one fell swoop, while still having the puppet regime in charge as president. So either way, big business wins.
But how does big business win if Trump wins?
Big business still wins if Trump wins because they're still going to be able to have the lobbyists. They're still going to have all this stuff. He's not going to stop big business from making money. Come on. No. He's Donald Trump, and this is America, and that's what it's about.
His name is a franchise.
He licensed out his name.
Yeah. And it's not even his buildings. Yeah. It's just his name on it.
Either way, you've got a win-win for big business in America.
I red. That's smart. And he's got all these children. He's got all these children. He's got all these children, and if you can control the head, you can control the body. Which means you can control the rest of them, which is another Bush family. It's another Bush family. That's a new Bush family being ushered in.
That's just one of the going theories I've had for a long time. Is that they're looking at, of course, getting rid. I mean, hell, the whole term "info war" to begin with came from the Clinton presidency. And when the Monica Lewinsky scandal broke with Matt Drudge, one of the largest sources of alternative,
that's how he got famous. Was breaking to Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, and
Drudge report.
She's been after alternative media and sources like that for a long time. So it's very easy to see that collusion happening. It's very easy to see it within the media, even being spun that way, but to see Donald Trump actually coming really close to this right now at 254 to 209 as what Fox is calling
it. Nowhere near what I thought at this point in the night.
Me neither. And nowhere near where I thought we'd be at this point in the night. Quite honestly.
But it's the family, it's the name, it's the money.
Well, and that's something you brought up outside. That's something you brought up outside. Is that there's
tinfoil hat on me, but it's the thing is, it's like if you ain't got proof, but everything points to like this is the only person that could have done it. Then what do? Just say that like I ain't got the proof, but he was the only motherfucker there, but I can't prove it. Then what? Just walk away? Just walk away? I don't know how to do it, but. Just walk away?
Well, it's the fact of, like you said, there's a legacy of the Trump family. There's money involved with it.
I mean, you got to prove it. Yeah, facts are facts, but at the same time, there's sometimes it's like you got to go on circumstantial almost sometimes. But shit, it's like Hillary. I mean, they all got like fucking ties, but. I think what plays bad for them is their age. They don't have offspring enough, and not as much as Trump.
I don't know. I feel like if it really goes Trump,
Confucius, you're so quiet.
It's just my, like I was telling them, I think when y'all were gone, I said, it must feel good to, be white and look past somebody's racism and bigotry because, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect you.
Privilege.
It must feel real good to see that. And also, like I said on Facebook, people that didn't vote, you can really kiss my ass.
I'm really tired.
Like, y'all really talked all that shit about that voting.
I said I was going to diss on y'all.
Doesn't go the way you want it to. I don't want to hear anybody complaining. Because, like I've said before, the people that don't vote are always the first one to talk.
Always. They're always the
first one to talk.
Always.
That's why, Colin Kaepernick, I supported his taking a knee, but when you said he didn't vote.
He said he wasn't voting.
So, okay, I guess you don't want things to change that damn much.
Well, that's also when I stopped being a fan of Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco was on his whole...
I've been saying that, and y'all listen to me.
He was on his whole run that he was so revolutionary and this and that, and then when he came out and he said, I don't vote. I'm never voting in an election, ever. And I was like, you got all this to say about the president and the government, but you've never, ever casted a vote, and you like 28, so that means in 10 years you've never voted? Like, nah, bro, you really can't be of the people and really about the people and changing your community if you've never casted a vote, ever. Like, ever?
I just want the records. I just really wish somebody would give me the records for the people who actually voted and people who just said they
can't give you that.
Because I just really I don't understand how we're here. I really don't get any of it.
Well, I think like somebody on Twitter said it just shows that America's not what it says it is.
Kind of like how Trump says
America's always built itself up as this exceptional country that has surpassed every type of stereotype, every type of...
If he knows dead people voted 3 times, then how does he know that, right?
But
he's got some type
today,
of record.
The conspiracy theory was they already printed Clinton's picture on the front of the magazine. She
Well,
won, and
I mean, they do that for everything.
Exactly. So people don't read, so they don't listen.
They've done that for years, though. They've done that for years.
Like Super Bowl stuff.
There was a rush on Rockets 3-peat shit.
Yeah, there was...
I know that, but there are people who are out there today who literally believed that she won, so that was the reason it was being put out there. But
that also made it easy for them to say,
already like,
that's the vote.
That's the headline
already in my mind. And they already determined.
And that's exactly
psychological warfare.
And that's exactly what I was telling Stephen outside. And that's exactly the point that I was making earlier. Is that unfortunately you're looking at a good close to 2/3 of the population, maybe a little bit less, that isn't just a headline reader nowadays.
Right.
When the media is chasing nothing but a headline instead of investigating a story, you have to worry about that because that's who people are looking for as their news source. And when the news source is doing nothing, I mean, when you're looking at 2013, the U.S. literally struck down propaganda law that they're now allowed to tell the news what to say.
I think that propaganda law,
and then just like a year or so ago, when net neutrality passed in a midnight vote, they tried putting FCC regulators into newsrooms to assure that quote-unquote approved messages are going
No, government shouldn't have anything to do with
so,
that should be free.
Yeah, like, to me, I said it on the show that I released yesterday with John Bound. If you are a reporter in America that takes a ticket to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I will never, ever listen to you. You have been bought and paid for with a steak dinner.
That's why I always refer to
you've lost all sense of no bias.
Chris, to your point of the idea that we are only a headline reading people, and to Confucius's point of the fact that America isn't what it says it is, I actually think that what America says it is, I say with air quotes, is the headline, and the article is the history books.
Absolutely.
And if you read the history books, America sucks. America comes in, ruins everyone, knocks out the native cultures. It's like, oh, hey, we were just going to go ahead and take you from another country and then make you our slaves? Are you fucking kidding me? History and everything that America has done from the beginning has been shitty. So we can tell ourselves all day that we're great, but we're not. We're the fucking worst.
Yeah, we
are.
So
you know what?
I don't know. We're better than
I know this is horrible. Maybe a little post-apocalyptic but maybe Trump is the right leader for America because America fucking sucks and Trump sucks.
I saw a sign earlier that said "Make America Kind Again," and I really wanted to run into the person's house and be like, "Kind bitch, where? When? When has America ever been kind? How was it founded? How did America begin? There's never been a situation or any
of marginalizing people.
And it's 2016.
What about the natives you fucked up and they're still fucking up over in Dakota?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's 2016.
And we're still the same kind of like...
still here.
The same kind.
We're literally watching somebody who has absolutely no political experience, who has been racist throughout his entire time as running for a candidate. He said everything that and I'll say it, if an African American man, if Obama went out and said half of the shit that Trump said while he was running, not only would he not be president, he'd be fucking hung somewhere.
Right.
It's not okay.
You're absolutely
I don't understand
right.
it. I don't understand how we're here.
It's because the place is not as free. They have tamped us down with sugar and celebrity. They've told us we're all going to be fine, and we're fucking not. And it's and so they keep trying to pretend, make America great again. You're right. That there was never a time when it was great. You know what? It was great before we got here.
I know neither one of these people
before
are real
Christopher
because
Columbus
they won't
swung
address
in
the
and
culture.
was all like,
Columbus
hey,
never came to America.
I'm just saying.
So.
I'm just saying, Christopher Columbus was the
and I'm
first
in
Columbus.
Columbus.
Before Amerigo Vespucci swung in and was all like, "What up? This seems like a good spot.
But
How about we kill those people?"
If I was a real person for the people, wouldn't somebody that in this presidential election go for Dakota? Why? Hey, there's the Indians out there. Have y'all not been watching? You know what I mean? Like what they're going through. Like why haven't these fools, these two clowns running for presidency, like address that issue or show up? You know what I mean? What the fuck, man? Man, this right now, and they have not even kind of addressed it. It's like the white elephant in the room. It's pushed under the carpet, and they fucking like it's blown over. Like what the fuck, man? Like if you're really for the people, if you're really fucking for what you know, well, it's right there, dude. How can it not be in your face?
Yeah, well, and it's interesting that neither candidate has come out and said anything about the.
We had Jesse Jackson go down there. We had this other, the other celebrities and shit. But how about our candidates? No, we ain't gonna talk about that. No, let the Indians get shot and do all
because, like
shit.
I said, either way you go, you've got big business in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Either
it
way
all
you go.
boils down to money. That's why they need a politician like Huey Long or some bullshit like that.
Huey Long. Last thing we need is a politician like Huey Long, my friend. My God. He was like the Creflo Dollar of American politics.
You and I have discussed this before, but we talked about all the things that Obama has started that'll pretty much go down the fucking drain if Trump wins. And I think people don't really understand this.
No, go ahead.
So let's talk about the climate.
Do it. Well, climate change, that's out of it.
And let's just talk about how all of that is bullshit.
We're already on the She's ahead there.
Well, Trump's already said that he's gonna be with fracking.
Yeah,
and
they took my land for fracking,
and he wants to depend more on. He didn't want to depend on foreign. I
don't agree.
Which is,
I had to.
Which basically he's going to start drilling as much as he can inside our country too, which is of course going to affect climate change. He comes from the party of climate change denial,
and we were pretty much already on the cusp of being fucked over if we didn't get our shit in
Luckily, the one good part, he can't take out of the Paris Accords that was made for climate change. He can't change that shit. That's going to happen regardless. So that's the plus. But
you said the what?
The Paris climate change.
Yeah,
Accords.
but you remember the Paris climate change? They discussed that there was really nothing put into place to force anything.
Well, it was a step forward for that.
Yes, but
he can't change that step forward. That's my point.
But that's just like me.
It's just going to get to the point where these other superpowers step up and take the step that we should have been taking.
Correct.
Because they're always ahead of the game.
Because we burn more fossil fuels than anybody.
Yeah, but there were also a lot of countries that basically said they were going to follow in what we were going to do.
I have a feeling they stopped following us a long time ago.
I agree.
When they saw that Trump was getting there, they said, you know what? I see where this is going.
I agree, but all I'm saying is that there was nothing in that agreement to force anybody to do anything, right? Right or wrong?
Well, no, it's not. That's a global accord.
So I can tell you what I want to do, but it don't mean I got to do it.
That's true.
If there's nothing forcing me to do it.
No, absolutely. If there's no sanctions in place or anything like that.
I'm going to go mow the lawn tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so.
But he comes from the party of climate change denial, so a lot of his people, if he comes out and says climate change is bullshit, a lot of his followers that are voting for him currently.
I'm going to say it's
okay. Exactly, and I just want to paint that picture. So what else is out there?
Here's the thing, though.
They're talking more about these other things that are going to be changed. I'm interested.
We got 1 minute left before we go to break.
1 more minute.
So we're going to table this And we're going to talk a little bit about the climate change denial stuff. And Trump.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, write it down.
What we're going to lose if we got Trump.
what we're going to lose.
Miami.
And
New Orleans. Summer California.
As well as the cost of drilling in America.
When we come back, I'd also love to hear, because you made a good point where you're like, that's great that you guys can talk from the point of white privilege, because you're right. You're 100% right. It affects us so much less, and it kills me. It makes me so upset, and I don't want to think about it. And of course, I don't have to. But I'd really like what's going to happen.
Think about it. That's the thing. Be an ally. Think about it.
Are we on break?
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, we're talking. We're on the way out.
Hush.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I woke up today feeling like a 35-year-old white man. So.
Yeah, he's a Navy officer. He called me.
That's okay. There's this some black man that lives inside of me.
Yeah, it is. He's rapping. He does all kinds of good stuff, man.
I want to be Will Chamberlain.
Just the personality is so much bigger than my own. That's
His
why.
His spirit animal is Will Chamberlain.
That's right.
Waldo out.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Dudes and Beer Podcast. To listen to our live audio streams, tune in at dudesandbeer.com or Spreaker.com/dudesandbeer. You can find our episodes on SoundCloud.com as well as the Google Play and iTunes market. You can also find us on YouTube, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast service. Dudes and Beer is a proud member of the Revolution Digital Group family of podcasts. Thanks for listening, everybody, and until next time, drink responsibly.